You are looking live into the man cave in beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It is a Saturday night short track race, and we are going for it at Richmond. I don't know what that's about. I don't think I want to do that. Anyway, welcome everybody. Appreciate you being here. I don't know who's going to be joining me tonight. Mr. Finley said he's going to be here. Mr. Nolan said he was going to try, which probably means he won't make it, but I'm used to that. But we're going to have us a good old time because we are going to the action track. Used to be my favorite non-Indianapolis racetrack on the schedule. And then they did a dual zone tire and some other monkey business. And the action track isn't as action-packed as it used to be. But the last couple, 3 years, things have picked back up a little bit. And thankfully, we have seen Mr. Dillon put it on him a couple times. I don't know, will we see it again? Hard telling. Curious to see what Mr. Van Gisbergen can do. He has shown that he's starting to pick up this short track way of life. So we will have to see if he jumps around and puts on a good show. Marcus Villarreal, glad to have you. Shocked and dismayed that you actually picked Chris Rebel to win again for the 978th time in a row. Billy Sellers, glad to have you, brother. Always like when you join us. Brockster, alive and kicking from New Zealand, our dedicated Kiwi that comes in all the time. Regine Huddleston, thanks for coming in. Glad to have you. Hope you enjoy the show tonight. Drivers are strapped in. We had the national anthem already. We're getting ready to open it up. Brockster going to become a YouTube member, it looks like. Glad to have you, Regine. Billy's picking Tyler Reddick. That would be a nice turnaround for him. He's in need of one because he has been on a downturn, to say the least. They were talking about that on Happy Hour this week with Mr. Trey Lyle, that 5 of the last 9 races, I believe it is, he finished in the 30s, 4 of which were last place finishes. That is rough, to say the least. That is rough. Engines are fired. We're glad to hear it. Glad you're officially a member, Brockster. Glad to have you. Glad to have everybody. I'm not totally sure what's going on with our deal here because we got people's faces showing up on the comments now. I like it a lot. That is a great addition. Mr. Finley says he's picking up dinner. So he's going to be about 20 minutes out. I guess we will find out when he gets here. Tracy Oliver is on board with Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott, both of whom need to pick up some momentum getting ready for the playoffs. We are already over 100 watchers. Thank each and every one of you so much. We know that you don't have to join this crazy program that we put on here to enjoy your racing experience, but we're glad you choose to kind of add on to it a little bit. make things a little bit different, get a little different analysis than you get from the TV. Regine was liking the interview by SVG. Tyler Ross thinking that Ty Gibbs is going to go back to back. That would be something. We've always said that he was going to start getting better once he had that first win, and now that he's got two, we will see how that goes. Howdy, Sean Montgomery. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you sharing your race experience with us. Billy's looking at in-car cameras. That is the cool part of the experience that you really don't get in other sports. You get a little bit of it in football, some of the helmet cams and what have you. But pretty much these days, every car on the track in NASCAR has an in-car camera. And it's possible for you to watch it depending on streaming and what have you. Sean Montgomery liking that Ryan Blaney pick. Back-to-back polls for the Blainster. We'll see how it goes. Billy Sellers, you might see that. William Byron's pretty good at Richmond. We'll have to see how this plays out. My pick for the night is Joseph Logano. I think he's good at Richmond. I think he's picked up some momentum of late. I think he's gaining confidence in what the team's offering. And hey, it's an even numbered year. So watch for him to go on a bit of a run. Regine Brockster wants to know what interview it was. Regine cheering for the Michiganders and C. Bell. What do you mean, is this a new thing, Maurice? We've been doing this for years. We are live with our watch party. We do our watch party every week. Cool Victory Junction camp paint scheme for Ty Gibbs. They had Brent Cruz last week had it on for the O'Reilly race. And now we got Ty running it this week. It's a cool thing. Was Adam Petty's idea. And when we lost Adam, it gained a lot of momentum, and it has been a great asset to youngsters with issues for years now. I'm glad to see it still going on. Cheryl Payne is putting her hat in the Ryan Preece ring. We're just showing Larson on TV. Something's got to get straight with Larson. He has been running like a bag of hammers for a while. If he's going to have a shot at being back-to-back, he has got to get it moving. I don't know, Billy. Like I said, Michael Finley's picking up dinner, said it's going to be about 20 minutes. Trey Lyle is watching the race with his dad. This is a family tradition. He's always gone to Richmond with his dad. Now they're at home watching it on TV. So he's going to be watching with his dad. I thought it'd be really fun to have his dad join us. But Trey seems to think that his father might imbibe a little too much and is worried about the rabbit hole that we could go down. So he said he's not going to join us. Like I said, Brian Nolan said maybe. He let me know this morning. Haven't heard from him. So safe bet that he is probably not joining us. So we'll have to wait for Mr. Finley to get here. Mr. Massey is at the racetrack. So barring a rain delay where he can get out of the media center when nothing's going on, we will probably not hear from him tonight. A few other people I have messaged or gotten back with are IndyCar folks. So they're busy watching Toronto qualifying, so they couldn't join us in time. So we'll see how it goes out. Like Blaney's paint scheme tonight. That's a sharp looking paint scheme he's got for the body armor. Maurice Havelock is hoping that Brad's going to be able to shake it off. Brad has not been impressive this year for most of the season. So we will find out if Mr. Keswalski can get it going. You are correct. We have 70 laps stage 1, 160 laps in stage 2, 170 laps in stage number 3. So we will knock this dude out in rapid fashion. Now, you're good, Billy boy. You just enjoy it. This thing's going to go by pretty quick. We'll have plenty to talk about. Mr. Finley's going to join in. So we will be good. Lights are out on the pace car. Everybody is doubled up, bunching up the field a little bit. By the way, I don't know if anybody had a chance to read my commentary this week on Frontstretch. I'm pretty proud of it. It was basically a game plan to shorten up cautions. And I laid out how this all could work where we'd have 2 or 3 laps for every caution. So let's see. Jamie Schweitzer, God love you, brother. Prayers raised up to you. I got to imagine it is a painful memory to go through, but we're here with you, man. Glad you chose to spend this night with us. So thank you very much for joining us. Shout out for your brother looking down on us. Statman Dale got Denny Hamlin for the win. To the best of my knowledge, Robert, I have seen no worries about weather. Near as I can tell, everything should be good on the weather front. And this just in. I don't know what they have done to our setup here, but things are different because that green flag banner is really big. Oh, I like that much better. The problem with that is it doesn't go with the full color. There we go. Now we're on to something. Briscoe and Blaney racing like the old school action track. We are side by side. That's what I used to love about Richmond was it would take forever to complete a pass. You would gain an inch, then lose a foot and have to gain it all back again. So we will see how they do. Blaney is your leader at the moment. We are 3 wide with Kyle Larson. Here we go again. Larson needs to get his act together and get moving, but he doesn't need to push it because he has gone over the bounds multiple times. The Kez was good back in the Talladega days. Kez is really good there. I will let you know, Billy boy. Thank you very much. Joey will I think Joey's going to give him a run today. We'll see how it goes out. He's just outside the top 10 right now. But I think he is going to shine tonight. I don't know if he gets a win. I think he will. We'll find out. Blaney is definitely fighting with Briscoe, although Briscoe, with that outside momentum, seems to be getting a little bit of an advantage. We'll see if he's ever able to clear this, but right now Blaney is sticking right with him. So far, Blaney, your fastest lap of the race. That's a point. See if he can hang on to it for the whole night. There's a lot of us hoping for that, Jamie. I know I'm biased because I'm friends with his crew chief, but his luck this year has just been god awful. And they finally put a race together last week. Looked really good. Ryan Blaney finally clears Briscoe. Now let's see if he can set sail, being able to go full through the corners and not being pinched down by a car on the outside. Meanwhile, a very strong long shot pick, Josh Berry, up to third place. We know that Berry can run short tracks. And finally, the last couple three races, he has been putting together some runs. And we're going to see if Mr. Berry is able to make it all the way back to the front, because that would be an outstanding thing to see. Knowing that he's going to be out of that ride at the end of the year, it'd be really cool to see him go out with a win in the last 15 races. Larson is working hard to move forward. There's no doubt about that. He is currently 28th, 12 laps into the race. Josh Berry showing the nose to the inside on Briscoe. Looks to be getting off the corner a little faster. We will see if he is able to make something happen, but it looks like he is definitely faster than Briscoe. It's just going to be a matter of him pulling it off. It's early, Brockster. Reddick's got to just got to shake off the doldrums. He's already completed more laps this week than he did last week. So let's give him a breather. Josh Berry's into second place and setting his sights on the lead. No question about that, Jamie. If Reddick finishes last, or Reddick finishes last and Joey wins, things could Joey's looking at making a march towards the front. But how about Ty Gibbs? I don't think anybody had Ty Gibbs second place in the point standings with three races to go before the chase begins. That is an amazing, amazing jump by that young man. I don't know if anybody's aware, but Kelby Klein is picking Bubba Wallace for the win. Shocking, I know. Going out on the limb. Larson in 30th. Reddick 35th. Is it Ware or Balicki in last? It is Balicki who is in last place. Cody Ware is just over a second ahead of Balicki. As Statmandale confirmed, Josh Berry has moved into second and trying to run down the leader, although Blaney is out by a second. Ty Gibbs trying to crank up the heat on his teammate for the third spot. So we are 20 laps in to the 70 laps of the first stage. Blaney first, Berry second, Briscoe third, Gibbs fourth, Darrell Wallace rounding out your top five. This was one of my points, and thank you for those that read the article. One of my points was that side-by-side commercials have become the norm for Cup broadcasts. So there's no need to have caution flags at the end of stages to be able to show commercials. They're showing commercials anyway. They're showing them side by side. That's what they need to do. Kenneth, we're glad to have you, sir. Thank you for so much for being part of the 126 people that are watching. Thankful to have each and every one of you joining tonight. It's going to be a great race. Already seeing a ton of competition through the field. Ryan Blaney is comfortably leading. Josh Berry trying to reel him in. Briscoe working hard to fight off Ty Gibbs for the 4 spot. Praise the good Lord above. USA has listened, and they are now actually scrolling the scoring pylon during the side-by-side commercials. I don't know why they couldn't do that last week, but thankfully they are this week. So let's see if they can do it. That would be interesting. I don't picture Cindric being out at Penske, but you never know. Anything is possible. But I'm pretty sure Josh Berry is going to be most likely taking a step down towards O'Reilly, which is not necessarily a bad step for him if he can end up at Junior Motorsports. But I think just any other Cup rides available are not going to be of the caliber of what he's got. So we'll see how it plays out. We don't know what it's going to be. Look at Van Gisbergen, high, wide, and handsome. He's up there banging the boards going through the corner. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but he was way up the track. Now he's doing it again. That must be on purpose. That could be an interesting line if that actually works out. Because I haven't seen that in Richmond in a long time. Zilish is back 1 spot. Well, now 2. He was in 11th. He's now in 13th. Going to see if Dennis can bring home a win for the Bob's paint scheme this week. He talked about that on Actions Detrimental, that he'd like to put Bob's in victory lane at Richmond. He is obviously very good at this racetrack. Basically his home track. He has worked his way into 9th right now if he can get clear of Priest solidly. Keselowski in 7th right in front of him. He could carve his way through 2 RFK cars in a matter of a couple laps. Joey Logano pitting already. Larson pitting as well. Wow, I'm truly surprised that we're only 30-something laps in. But there's a whole bunch of people hitting pit lane. Cindric's in the pits, Custer, Priest, Austin Dillon in the pits now. Certainly looks like tires must be falling off big time. because I can't believe they'd be short on gas already. Jones is in, Bowman, McDowell, Zane Smith, Tyler Reddick, Noah Gregson, Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe. You're looking at the whole field coming in, taking us out. This could get interesting tonight if we're going to have this many pit stops. So far, so good. We are 32 laps into this thing, no cautions, and really haven't seen anybody way out of place. Jamie, we'll give you a heads up on where Custard is after they all get through this round of pit stops. Because needless to say, right now we're a little jumbled up. Nice stop for Hamlin at 9.2 seconds. Busher 9 seconds flat. Gibbs, Ware, Bell, Herb, Suarez, Van Gisbergen, and Hocevar, Gilliland all in for pit stops. We'll find out, Jamie. Like I said, I'm on the Logano bandwagon. Zilish is now in the pits along with Byron and Gilliland and Chastain. So Blaney is in the third spot. Wallace and Stenhouse ahead of him, but Wallace is in the pits. Austin Hill's got a tire rolling out in the middle of the pit lane. That can never be good. Gibbs also had a penalty, so he's doing a pass through. That's going to hurt him. So after we have gone through the pit stops, Blaney is your leader ahead of Briscoe by 3 seconds. Logano is in third. Berry is in fourth. And now we're talking about timing loops. Cindric is fifth. Priest is sixth. Hamlin seventh. Bell's in eighth. They're breaking down how Ty Gibbs was speeding on pit lane. Apparently, he was a little hot in segment one. They're blaming it on a new location for pit road entry, apparently, because they have moved that closer to the pit lane. Absolutely, Billy. We're going to find out, Gene. Statman Dale confirming it was a speeding penalty. Jamie's excited for Logano. Joey's an incredibly nice young man. I've known him since he was running Legends cars. And yes, and it's really been fun talking to him about how getting married changed his life and how he went from being very self-centered to actually caring about other people. And that has turned into not only caring for his family and friends, but as part of his foundation and charitable work that he does, he has really come a long way from when he started racing and got into the cup level. So yeah, super nice guy. Barry got back by him. No, Barry is up to third. Setting his sights on Briscoe again. 25 laps to go in stage number 1. Passionate for sure, Jamie, but also incredibly funny. That dude, anytime you have a conversation with him, there's humor involved. He ends up just cracking up about something. To answer the question about cold custard, he is in 23rd position right now. Ladies and gentlemen, after acquiring whatever he acquired for his dinner this evening, Mr. Michael Finley is joining us on the broadcast.
Hello.
Michael.
I would have been here right on time if they were like consistent with starting the races. Because I thought that the start was the same time as the truck race start last night, which was 7:30. No, it's at 7.
There you go.
Let me. So I'm still in the process of opening everything up.
Jamie Schweitzer is very excited to see you.
Our value menu is just $6.
Oh, that's good.
Go all out.
So Josh Berry has been looking sporty so far in this race. Blaney has definitely got speed.
Come here, boy.
Hamlin is up 8 spots since the start of the race. Cindric, your big mover, at 18 positions. Bowman is up 12. Reddick up 8. Larson up 7. Larson made a lot of moves early, and then I think he used up his stuff. And apparently tires must be falling off in this deal because 30 laps into the first stage, they were doing pit stops. And there ain't no way they're low on petroleum at 30 laps. So
I wish I had taken note yesterday because we had some 40 to 50 lap ones in practice. I hadn't taken note of just what the fall offs were because that would have made me better prepared me for tonight.
We're all good.
Let's see here. Oh my goodness! I just put on the Boys podcast and they're talking to DJ. I saw him yesterday. He was trying to go incognito at the track wearing like a USA Sports hat, but I saw him.
For those asking about Connor Zilic, he has dropped down to 21st position at this point in time. Gibbs, thanks to that speeding penalty, is in 28th.
Yeah, this is not the track to get.
Last car on the lead lap right now.
This is a very easy track to get speeding penalties and stuff.
Well, and they're blaming it on
the new pit road entrance.
The new pit road entrance. Which, if anything, I would think that would cause your pit time to be slower because if you're used to slowing down at the old one, you've got an extra 100 feet or so to the new one.
Yeah.
Dennis trying to crank up the pressure on Darrell for 6th spot. Right now, you got 4 of the top 5 cars basically Penske or Penske affiliated.
I remember when
we can have some juggling for sure.
I remember when this was Blaney's worst racetrack.
Yeah, he used to be a dart without feathers at this deal, for sure.
Yeah.
I just said this used to be my favorite track outside of Indianapolis. And then they did the dual zone tire thing, and then newer cars just haven't run as well here. I don't know. It has lost the action track for me, but in the last year or so, year or two, the racing has really started to come back to old Richmond, where you basically try to get by somebody and you run side by side for like 25 laps before you get a pass to complete. Oh, that's what I'm like. Are you freaking wrapping fish or something? What the hell you got going on over there?
Trying to balance the cat and the food and everything right now.
I know how that goes.
Say hi to the people, boy.
Hi, boy. How you doing? Says, I don't know. Dad's not giving me any food yet. I'm getting irritated.
Yeah. He was really irritated yesterday when I left him for like 13 hours.
I bet. Love Blaney's paint scheme tonight. I really do. That just the hint of purple around the number section is just really nice.
Yeah.
Carson Hosfar about to go a lap down.
Body Armor has really good paint schemes.
I wonder if Body Armor actually gets involved with that.
Yeah.
Because sadly, most paint schemes these days are done by recent college graduates and interns that know how to copy and paste in some kind of graphic software.
I know in Orca you got some people using AI now. It's like,
Jamie thinks that Ryan Blaney is an international man of mystery.
okay. I guess.
Apparently, there's proof in a video.
So we can't call him Young Ryan Blaney anymore because it's been 10 years. Is he just like 30 something Ryan Blaney?
He is experienced, Ryan Blaney. So let's see if Briscoe can actually do something tonight. Because they were just showing that Briscoe has run like a bag of hammers at Richmond as well.
It's weird.
Logano got by Barry for third spot.
So did they get rid of
Christopher
the
Bell is up
inflatable?
there.
Did they get rid of the inflatable Toyota letters on the backstretch?
It looks like it.
Like it did. It's the same.
Allmendinger sporting that Black's tire paint scheme. I love that. Noah Gregson doing all he can to stay on the lead lap. Blaney, 4 laps to go. Can he hold out Blaney for 4 laps?
Blaney not happy with the Gillia now.
That looks like he took care of that, though.
Yeah.
Three laps to go. Can Blaney get by Gregson before Briscoe catches him and turns this into a battle for the top spot at the end of stage 1?
Guy who's been very quiet this weekend, surprisingly. Denny Hamlin, he's up to 7th. after qualifying in the mid-teens.
Qualified better than Larson did.
Yep.
Gregson goes a lap down. Briscoe trying to put it in there, but it is going to be Ryan Blaney that wins stage number 1. Unless Briscoe can pull off some kind of Hail Mary move out of 4 here, but I don't see that happening.
The tire life graphic makes me think that they're running like softs and mediums. Not a great choice of colors, USA.
All right, there we go. Top 10, Blaney, Briscoe, Logano, Cindric, Barry, Wallace, Hamlin, Bell, Elliott, Byron. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back to the B's in the top 10. That is 6 of them? 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. We have got half of the top 10. Last name beginning with a B.
The old killer bees right there.
Cindric snuck by Barry at the very end to grab 5th.
Gotta wonder if that was a Penske call, though, on the
Doubt
DL.
I don't picture Barry having much play with that, considering he's out of the car after this year.
I just know Cindric needs that point more than Bailey at this point.
Look out, Ice Cube's hitting the floor. Let the ice cubes hit the floor. Let the ice cubes hit the floor. Let the ice cubes hit the floor.
I do rap about ice cubes, but usually doesn't end well for me. It's a family stream anyway. It is really funny that like Ice Cube is now like this family movie actor or whatever.
Yeah. The only thing I understand about Mr. Bell was that he had some kind of a obligation that he was committed to doing, assuming it was some kind of sponsor thing at the cup level. I don't know what it exactly was, but he was committed. So therefore,
yeah. It might also be too, like, I don't know about his leg. I'm surprised him and SVG both didn't pull out of that race. Just because 650 laps is a lot.
You're at Richmond. Not like you're doing it at Bristol or something. Don't know, Jamie. Like I said, I don't imagine Cindric being out of that spot, but anything's possible. All right, time for pit stops. Logano down and away in 11.3. See what Blaney's pit crew can do.
Famous last words.
Down and away, looks like Blaney beats him to the line. Briscoe, Cindric, Logano, Dennis, Darrell, Josh Berry, Bell, and I missed the last two.
The 12 team had a good pit stop?
I don't know about good, because he was a full car length ahead when he came in, and By the time he left, he was about 3 inches ahead.
So Logano was 11.3. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Just barely stayed ahead.
Yeah. I'm with you, Brock. I think SVG wants all the laps he can get, and he knows that 7 truck is a quality truck. Don't forget that was supposed to be Kyle in that truck. Would have loved to have seen him at Richmond. Pretty sure it's 4 tires for everyone. I can imagine anybody would take a 2 at this point in time, especially knowing that you've got 100 and whatever laps ahead of you, 160 laps for stage 2. Thanks again to everybody that's joining us tonight. Appreciate each and every one of you coming on and sharing your race experience with us. It's an honor that you choose to share your cup watching experience with us. Hope we give you some kind of additional value. At least to get to hear some unbiased opinions. They may not be good opinions, but they're at least unbiased.
The opinions. So I figured out a way to see points as they won, on the scoring monitor, which NASCAR has, they kind of took the ability away from us.
Right.
Earlier this year, I figured out how to basically pretend like I'm on the mobile side of the website, and apparently the points are there now.
Interesting.
As they won, the bubble is currently Cindric plus 52, SVG plus 36, Priest minus 36, and Chastain minus 56. Now,
of course, subject to change.
Yeah. And how this works too is it pretends that the last 2 stages end now. So like Blaney gets
right.
Yeah, Blaney's credited with the stage 2 win in addition to his 55 for winning the race.
Lee Diffie giving us history on NASCAR. True statement there, Brockster. Pit crew definitely needs some work.
So when they redesigned the fairgrounds, do you know who drove the first bulldozer? Neff?
I do not remember. Probably Richard.
Yep. Because the race ended and he got out of the car and then he got into the bulldozer.
All right. So it took us 9 laps to finish the caution period. Now, mind you, we're on a short track, so time can fly. So I give them a little bit of a break, but still, 9 laps is an awful long time.
There's also only 8 minutes
to be under caution.
Which, I mean, 8 minutes is better.
Woo! Darrell Wallace going way wide. It is an absolute hornet's nest after this restart.
Yeah.
People are everywhere.
Hamlin with that Bob's furniture paint scheme that based in the area.
Yep, that would be big. He was talking about it on Actions Detrimental this week. He would really like to get them a win in this race.
Heck, my bet is from Bob's, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. It's actually really funny because it's like they're one of those kind of furniture stores that are like, try my new Bob-O-Pedic mattress.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think NASCAR wonders why. I think we all wonder why. NASCAR knows it, but again, like I was saying, they want, they don't really care because it's what the broadcasters want. Broadcasters want that caution, and I don't know why. Due to the fact that we can go side by side for commercials and we do it all the time, there's no reason to have a caution at the end of stages. Absolutely agree, Brock. I think it easily could have been 3, if not 5 laps shorter. I guess it depends on your perspective. Larson is very good at Richmond, but Larson has been very bad for the last half of the season.
I also don't even necessarily think, I mean, because, well, I mean, Byron's up there in 6, but like he's the only Hendrick car I see in the top 10 right now. It might just be a situation where Penske's really good at salt tracks now. Gibbs is always great here. So it's just kind of, if you're not going somewhere, you're just kind of staying back, you know?
But in the last few years, Larson's had the best average starting position.
Yeah.
Or one of the 3 best average starting positions at Richmond. Saying, I don't know. I'm with you. I think Hendrick is out to lunch.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would hope this isn't an RFK situation, which back in the day it was just Roush Fenway, when they had incorrect data in their sim and were setting up their cars based on faulty information.
Yeah.
But it certainly kind of seems that way because the whole organization is struggling.
I do think that at the very least they have more competent people over there than OFK did at the time.
Right.
I mean, Jack Canals isn't a dummy. Like, he'll figure it out. I think it's just kind of the ebb and flow of, you know, we've gone through a couple periods where Hendrick is just unstoppable, and then there's a couple periods where Gibbs is unstoppable. And
right.
Penske, yeah.
Tyler Reddick coming forward. Reddick's in 11th.
He's finally making a little bit of gainway.
Larson, 23rd. He's picked up some more spots. Well, Austin Dillon's already won in the Cup Series. Now, if you're just saying from here going forward, I would still put my bet on Dillon because I don't think Cindric or Hill has shown the muster to win a race.
It's actually interesting that there's 2 Daytona 500 winners in that.
Right.
You never know, too. Austin Hill might win it next year in this call. So with Noah getting in the 4 again next year, I mean, that basically confirms Hill's coming back to the 33, right? Like I was listening to an interview that Austin Dillon did with Gluck on his podcast, and Dillon made sure to mention, hey, Austin Hill, you know, he's having to basically do 2 jobs right now.
Right.
He's got to prepare for O'Reilly, and then he's got to, in the meantime, figure out how to be a Cup driver. And I think they all
in a car that is completely different from
Yeah.
what he's driven for the last however many years.
Yeah,
I mean, a Cup car handles completely different. Just talk to Connor Zilisch.
Yeah, I think Childress will give him the thank you. You can have this call. We'll give you this ride for a year. If you're good, we'll just keep you next year. If not, then, you know. Because with Noah off the market, there's really no, unless they go after Lane Wicks, which I don't think they will, you know.
Yeah, I don't picture them going after a Ford guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what Lane's contract deal is with Ford, but
yep. Well, even then,
Ford wants to let him get away.
Now is not a good time to put a rookie in that call.
Right.
You get a rookie in that call after you've developed it enough to where
it's competitive.
A little bit of speed.
It needs to get back to competitive.
Yep. Otherwise, you have a Daniel Hemrick situation where he was named to that call and they didn't do anything, and he got.
Speaking of being competitive, shout out to.
Uh-oh. Don't know if it's me or Neff.
Nobody on screen all of a sudden. Something weird's happening. Hey, now we're coming back. All right. I don't know what happened there. There was a blip of some sort.
You said
you froze up. Yeah. I was still talking, but you were not there. And then all of a sudden, both of us were gone from the screen.
You said shout out too, and then you just stopped talking. And I was like, uh-oh, is it me?
Now, see, I was still talking, and you were frozen, but I was still moving on my end. Yeah. Shout out to Brendan Queen, because those colleague Ram trucks are god-awful. And he is within 47 points of the cutoff line of making the chase in trucks.
Yeah, he's not going. Yeah, he won't make it, but like
I don't think he will either. But but shout out because he's not tearing up bad equipment.
Yeah,
he's keeping himself within the limits of what he is given and getting the best finishes he can get.
So, if our viewers didn't know, I went to the truck race yesterday as a fan, and I didn't go back today because I was like, well, I saw Cup practice and all that stuff. I'm good.
Right. That is an interesting concept there, Jamie, to have the 3 Austin team. That would be an interesting development.
The Austin Teos.
The all Austins. Yeah, apparently I did, Dale. I don't know what happened there. It was a weird blip, but we're all back.
So
thanks for sticking around.
I noticed was that at least yesterday, there were a lot of Mini Tyrell fans. There were a lot of Connor Hall fans. There were a lot of Butterbean fans.
Yeah, man, because you're in Virginia. That's how that works, man.
I think a lot of the crowd last night were mainly people from like Langley or Dominion.
Yeah, I'm sure 60% of that crowd is normally at South Boston, Langley, or Dominion on a Saturday night.
Yeah. I know Dominion ran last night, but they didn't win any late models. I wonder why.
Yeah, that was I don't understand. I don't. And they're running. Aren't they running tonight too? I thought.
Yeah, they're running. Supposedly they're running like their biggest race of the year tonight, which is like.
Yeah, I don't know what logic there is.
I think really, it's just different fan bases now, because it used to, like 20 years ago, they would take like the week off for Richmond.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
because you're shooting yourself in the foot.
I think now it's like the NASCAR crowd, or at least the people going to these races, are much more. I don't want to gatekeep and say that they're casual, but they're not the same crowd that's going to these short tracks. I don't think. Obviously, there is some crossover, but not as much as there used to be.
Certainly. It is a battle for the lead. Blaney led that lap. Hasn't fully cleared Briscoe yet, although I think he'll get him coming out of turn 2 here. Yeah, there we go. Blaney to the lead. We are, what is that, 29 laps in from the restart? 28, 29 coming to the line now. 29 laps in on the restart. Blaney is your leader. Briscoe is second. Cindric third. Logano fourth. Dennison fifth. Josh Berry in sixth. William Byron seventh. Ryan Preece eighth. Darrell is in ninth. Ross Chastain rounded out your top 10. 66 goes another lap down. Ty Gibbs has clawed his way back into the top 20 after the speeding penalty. Cold Custard is your last car in the lead lap in 28th.
It's about 20 seconds down. So he'll be getting lapped.
Josh Bilicki is 3 laps down. Once Barry got past Briscoe, he's already pulled out to a second lead in 3 laps. So Reddick knocking on the door of the top 10 with Christopher Bell on his back bumper. Elliott in 14th. Bowman in 17th. Austin Dillon 19th. Carl Lawson is in 21st. Austin Hill is the first car a lap down in 29th?
Mm-hmm. '77 not having a good night.
Nope. 2 races in a row. Wonder if it's something else mechanical again or if they're just not running well.
The interesting thing is Suarez had a great practice yesterday. Like, he was pretty fast on the long one. He's 26 right now, and McDowell's 27.
He is usually surprisingly good at this track.
Spio is just kind of out to lunch tonight.
I don't know when or if there's an actual deadline on that, Jamie, but yeah, I haven't heard. You would think by now there would have been some fanfare about it. Statman Dale, with his finger on the pulse of NASCAR, says he's thinking 2028.
Well, supposedly Bianchi was talking about how they had found an instant supplier that's going to basically just take off the other manufacturer's sticker and just put a Dodge sticker on there.
Interesting.
I just know, like, late next month they're going to be starting. They'll be starting to build Daytona 500 engines. So they're going to have to.
Well, apparently yesterday was the first time there was a actual Dodge built truck in the race. That they had been running old crap that had been left over from Kyle Busch Motorsports, among others.
And it's been more or less the same.
Yeah.
It drove more or less the same as the other Glams, which was not the silver bullet they were hoping for.
Zane Smith trying to follow the Van Gisbergen lead and go high, wide, and handsome here.
We got 4 wides there temporarily.
Yeah. Ty Dillon, not on the lead lap. Zilish in the pits. So where are we at? It's at 30 laps in again. So same as last stage. 30 laps into the stage, cars are starting to hit pit lane.
Police and SVG
Which
pitting
that
now.
means, what are we going to have? 5 pit stops or 4 pit
I guess
stops
so.
in the second stage?
I like
Wow. Oh, I do too. I keep arguing. They're talking about how to make super speedways more entertaining and not have fuel saving and all that crap. 10-gallon gas tanks.
it. Yeah.
Put in a damn 10-gallon gas tank. We'll have them change tires and fuel every 6 or 7 laps. It'll be exciting. Suarez is currently 20th, but we are in the middle of green flag stop, so that's got an asterisk next to it. Buscher 22nd is the first car a lap down.
Man,
look at that. Buscher, Keselowski, and Priest are all running nose to tail. Can't say that anybody's getting preferential treatment in that deal.
51's pit stop time was 5 seconds slower than everybody else.
Oh, I thought you were saying it's 5 seconds. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's 5 seconds. Well, the 51 to be exact.
Gibbs out of 9.2. Nemechek's on pit lane. Briscoe is just over half a second back. He is closing back in on Blaney here pretty significantly. Darrell is in the pits.
There's a little bit of everything on that 54 card this week, ain't it?
Yeah, and that Victory Junction Camp paint scheme is pretty neat.
Uh-oh.
Wallace in 8.9. Whoa, Zane Smith facing the wrong way.
And we have a call.
This will get interesting.
Oh, boy. And Josh Bailey had just pitted and gone down a lap. That's a shame right there.
So as we watch these cars pitting, it's reminding me that there is rumor flying around now of O'Reilly and Trucks going to single lug. God, I hope not. I was really hoping now that O'Donnell's in charge, we would get back to 5 lug nuts in Cup.
Them going to single nut would make sense if Cup will stay single nut. Because, like, right now, if you're, like, trying to develop a tire changer, you're not sending them to O'Reilly or Trucks because, like, it's a completely different way they put on the tires.
Yeah, but if you're good at doing 5 lug nuts, you'll be really good at doing 1. I mean, I just spitballing here, but I would think if you could do 5 lug nuts really fast, only having to do 1 should be a piece of cake.
I just know it's like, yeah.
I don't want to see the 1 lug nut, and I hate the low profile tires. You talk about adding time on caution flags. Low profile tires add time to caution flags because cars have to get jacked up and towed in and all that kind of mess where they should be able to drive in on a flat tire. I hate it. I think it's a horrible call. I don't like it.
So if I'm reading this correctly, right now, we have 15 calls on the lead lap. It's Chase Briscoe, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, Logano, Hamlin, Byron, Elliott Bell, Chastain, Hawks, Bowman, Jones, Lawson, Gregson, and Suarez. So what's going to happen is they are effectively going to get a free pit stop here. and maintain their position. So we were mentioning earlier, Neff, about how Suarez is having a bad day. All of a sudden, he's going to be restarting top 15 now.
Yep.
4 first tires.
Logano down away in 9.5.
That's kind of the risk you take when you pit Ole.
Briscoe 9.6. And Blaney 9.4, it looked like, but doesn't seem that way coming out of the end of the pit lane as it's Briscoe, Logano, Blaney, Hamlin, Byron, Cindric, Elliott, Chastain, Herbst, and Jones. What happened there? Blaney slowed down and Briscoe went around him as the caution was in air?
Interesting.
That was very interesting.
Maybe he gambled a little bit or something.
Hamlin is working his way forward. Ain't no doubt about that.
He might have been preparing to stop.
Oh, I forgot to change. Shame on me. Does anybody know what the trophy is Denny is holding in these Progressive commercials? Or is it just some generic ass big old cup?
It's probably generic.
You would think they would have it be some trophy that he's actually won. I mean, he's won 60 plus races.
It wouldn't be the cup.
No, it's not the cup. Trust me. I know that. But I'm curious what trophy that really is.
It's an interesting commercial, though. I think he's drinking from the cup.
He drinks out of the cup. Yeah. I would like to know what cup that is.
I want to know what the crew member puts in the fuel thing. Is he drinking like wine or Coke Zero or what?
Did you watch the first episode of the Americana thing?
I have not yet. I've got to download it on my phone. I need to. Probably do that tomorrow, in all honesty, because I don't have anything else to do.
Denny Hamlin should have won the Brickyard, but he pushed his equipment too hard and blew a tire with like 6 laps to go.
I'm curious how hot it is over there now at Richmond, because like yesterday, the humidity was just really bad. Like,
yeah, because there was rain in the area.
Yeah. Probably tell my story of the excitement of last night, from my perspective, at this upcoming stage working on 100 laps.
Green flag is out. Briscoe leads them out of turn number 1. Logano's in second, but Blaney right to the inside, going to put the pressure on.
Yeah, that second caution was only 7 minutes.
That's a good thing, considering there was no debris and it was just a car that spun around.
It was 7 laps though.
Right.
Chastain making a big jump, exactly what he needs to keep his chase hopes alive.
Yep.
As they won, he has moved
Whoa,
up
Riley
to
Herbst
17.
almost took out Alex Bowman. That was really close. Whee! Larson sending Hocevar up the track. I'll be honest, I think Larson slowed up there to let him get that spot back.
Yeah.
Certainly looked that way.
No point in wasting that hold. I gotta say, Lawson needs to kind of get it in gear right now because he's 10th in points.
Yeah, he's been running terrible.
He's not gonna miss the chase, but
No.
like you can't be 10th in point, the 10th seed, and compete for the championship in all likelihood.
I honestly, if they're going to name a trophy after Kyle, it should be the Truck Series trophy. Because he owned that series. Granted, O'Reilly, he's got the 100 wins, but he was just unstoppable in trucks.
I think it'd be cool if they created a separate award just called Driver of the Year, and it takes into account all 3 NASCAR series.
I think that'd be cool.
And you have like a little panel. Yeah. The Kyle Busch Driver of the Year.
According to superfan Molly Castellino, and hi there, Molly, glad to have you along for the night. It is not an official trophy, and he is drinking hot chocolate.
Oh, well, I guess he's going to bed. That makes sense.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, I wish the only thing that would be nice would be if they could make it objective. Because that's my problem. You know there's going to be some kind of vote involved. And once you have some kind of vote involved, it just takes the true competition out of it.
I wouldn't mind there being, even if it was like an NMPA award or something, you know?
Right.
Other than again, you know what? They could just name the NMBA Driver of the Year after him because that's basically what it is anyway.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. That takes into account every race series, not just NASCAR. But I'm sure Kyle would be cool with that anyway.
I'm a little curious on this Rookie of the Year schlemazel that's going on. They're now, Kelly Crandall reported that NASCAR came out and basically said that the teams have been told this at the beginning of the year. I find that hard to believe. Because I feel like they knew how many races Corey was going to run. They knew that it was going to put him past 12.
Yes.
That there would have been discussion about that, at least, in a public forum to let people know before it actually came out that it had already been decided.
Why did they let Shane do it last year then? Because he entered that season with 13 Cup starts. Like, I don't know. Just we'll probably find out more on Monday when Denny gets
That's how it works.
Studio. I also think all of it's a little goofy, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't research it. I was thinking about it this week, just didn't have the time to go back. Because I wanted to go back and see how many Rookie of the Years had started more than a dozen races before the year that they were voted Rookie of the Year.
I think Dick Trickle won Rookie of the Year, and his first Cup start was like 20 years before that, or something insane like that.
That is, everybody talks about Richard Petty's. Everybody talks about Richard Petty's wins record being the most unbreakable record in NASCAR.
Trickle
I
being the oldest
disagree.
rookie.
Dick Trickle winning Rookie of the Year at 49 years old. There is never, ever going to be somebody that breaks that record. Never.
So you had the champion talking about how, the Rookie of the Year really helped me a lot when I was starting out.
Yeah, when he was 22 years older than I was. Yeah, that is 100% true. I don't think so, Brock. And you know why? Because I don't think they care.
Yeah,
would Corey have liked to have been Rookie of the Year? Sure. Will Corey be happier when he wins 5 races next year and he's racing for the championship? Yeah, that's what really matters. I mean, it's great to be able to have it on your driving uniform for the rest of your life that you're Cup Rookie of the Year if you want to do that. But I don't think Corey really cares. I think Corey wants to win races and win a championship.
I don't think they really do that anyway after like a year after winning it.
I think they do it until they win a championship.
Yeah.
I think you keep it on there. Once you win a championship, that doesn't stay on anymore. Yeah. Trickle was a freaking legend, man.
Yeah. He's not just the funny name guy. Like
no, man, he is an absolute legend. He is a stalwart in racing. Yeah, I mean, you tell me who would feel better about Rookie of the Year? Connor Zilisch, who's going to finish 31st in points or something? Or Corey Heim going to have 6 wins in his first year in Cup. First full year in Cup.
I mean, look, you go back to like the early 2010s, and it's like we had like Stephen Light and Kevin
answer you there, Billy Boy. William Byron is in 6th right now. 6th.
And like, I love Andy Lally, but he won Rookie of the Year 1 year. Like, it's not.
Andy Lally is the shiznits, man.
Yeah.
Lally is one of the coolest dudes you will ever meet.
But like, if you look at like his rookie stat, I mean, obviously his stats don't back that up. But also, he was in the 71. So like,
Hamlin giving the business to Blaney right there. That was all sorts of squirrely.
We had like a 3-year one where those were the rookies of the year.
Yeah,
I think Stephen Light only started like 20 races and won it in like 2012.
Right.
Yeah.
That got really sketchy right there.
Oh.
I'll give you to in just a second here, Jamie, because right now they don't have the scoring pylon on the screen. But give me just a minute. Your top 10. Briscoe is your leader by 1.5 over Logano. Blaney is in 3rd/4th because Hamlin just rounded him on the outside like a trailer park girl. Cindric is in 5th. Byron 6th. Chastain 7th. Elliott 8th. Eric Jones at Jones Boy is in 9th. And Alex Bowman the Showman in 10th. Christopher Bell is in 11th. Josh Berry is 13th. Daniel Suarez, as we talked about, is in 14th. Reddick has clawed his way all the way up to 15th. Larson is up to 17th. Gibbs, after the penalty, is barely up to 19th. I think he's come up like 2 spots. So it's it's been a thing. Statman Dale confirming Danis is in 3rd.
Right now, the bubble has SVG.
Do we really need that many TV screens on a pit box? It's like they're in a damn BW3s on top of the pit box. There's like 15 TV screens.
SVG currently
Logano, just over a second down. But he's on the lead lap. Barely, but he's on the lead lap. Priest, Zilisch, and Dillon all in the pits again.
Yeah, they're all pitting.
That seems, is that
Ole.
a little early?
They're just going to gamble right here.
I mean, that's 80 laps since we started stage 2, but we
So,
had 2 caution periods. No, 1 caution period.
so these guys are going to have to run 72. No, yeah, 72 laps on these set of tires. I don't know about that.
70, I believe. They just pitted. We're going to lap 230.
Okay.
So that'll be 70 laps from right now, which means they're going to stop one more time. They're going to do another 35 laps and then they're going to stop.
So they're cutting the stage into 3 essentially. Interesting.
Ryan Priest blowing by Allmendinger like he's tied to a post.
Yeah, if anybody here is watching on HBO Max, you should change to the 60s onboard camera about now because he's going to be passing so many cars.
He's got tires that other people don't. He is going to be blowing by them.
That is kind of a benefit to Cup, essentially not having any tire limits. Is that it does kind of open the door for stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they have a tire limit, don't they? It's just a big limit.
Yeah, it's not like O'Reilly or trucks where it is very strict on that. Like trucks went up to the limit today, except for Infingo, because of what strategy he was running. Penalty on Zilich.
See, those are the penalties that drive me crazy.
Yeah.
You're running in the back of the 20s. Why push it? Get in, get out. I think that's crazy because now you're going to be 2 laps down.
Yeah, that basically
and screwed for the night.
Basically, going to have to throw the rest of this race into a testing session.
That's a poor execution. Zane Smith is 8 laps down. Briscoe leads Logano, Hamlin, Cindric, and Blaney. That's your top 5. As we go once again to commercial. Riley Herbst running in 12th. That's a good night for that Herbst kid.
Yeah. It's that they haven't confirmed he's with the Legacy next year, have they?
I don't know if they officially made an announcement, but that's been pretty much
confirmed,
for some time.
Because if for the background for viewers, Jimmy is very close to the Hopes family because he and them became buddies when he was doing Baja and stuff like that because they have
off-road trucks.
Yeah. And in fact, Jimmy just did like a cameo in off-road trucks, and he drove for the Holtz family. So I think in March of this year. So yeah. The fact Holtz is bringing a good check also helps, more than likely.
Right. Checks are a good thing. Man, I wish I knew who that was that just blew by the leaders like they were standing still.
Yeah.
But they're in commercial, so they're not showing us a breakdown of who's a lap down. Because obviously they were on fresh tires, but they went by the leaders like they were 30th place cars.
97 on pit road. Zane Smith is
The
going
Gizzle.
behind the wall.
It's a terrible development for Trey Lyle.
Yeah.
P2 for now, Jamie. That may be changing here shortly because he is putting the pressure on the Briscoe. We currently are on lap 171, and we are going to lap 230. So that would be 59 laps. 58 laps at this point in time because they just cross start finish. Whoa! That is the car. Was McDowell is the one that was blowing by him, I do believe. Although if that's it, he's made up a whole nother lap. I don't know about that. That wouldn't seem right. Logano
Don't
to the
look
lead.
now.
To the lead, confirmed by our one and only stat man, Dale Campbell. Thank you, brother.
Joe Log to the lead. Cole Custer doing everything to be in the middle of that.
Cold Custard does everything he can to be in the middle of everything because he is an animal behind the wheel. Highly underrated, I believe. I think Cold Custer is an underrated driver. Ooh, Josh Berry giving the business to Austin Dillon. Giving him the business.
Hey, how about Louis Foster winning pole at Malcolm? It's something.
It's something. True statement. Something.
Where's Pelot at? Pelot 11th. That might actually be a decent IndyCar race tomorrow.
Could be. Could be exciting. Then again, it's a street race, so it could suck.
Well, they didn't have the track ready until today.
Well, you know, things are busy in other countries.
Let us see who some of our people are saying here. Oh,
Byron in the Cincinnati car, looking very patriotic.
Our boss Mike Massey mentioned earlier tonight that he keeps thinking he's seeing a car sail off into the wall with a flat tire, but no, that's just the line SVG's running.
Yeah, he has been up there, and there have been a couple cars that up there. Zane Smith was doing that. Of course, he is now behind the wall, so maybe he actually did go up there with a flat tire. Logano and Briscoe both coming into pit lane. That should put Hamlin, or is Hamlin pit two? Nope, that puts Hamlin to the lead. Blaney's still hanging on to that fastest lap of the race. They don't even try to go to a second can of gas anymore. That's just sad. Again, why do we have single lugs? 5 lug nuts gave you the opportunity to put more gas in the car. You didn't have to worry about all this time on pit road garbage. Blaney is your leader, but is headed into the pits now, which puts Chastain in the top spot, I do believe. Whoa! Cindric getting a little bit busy with the 7. Body Armor Flash IV in the pits. That's just silly. Do you see that tire, or are you at Blaney's pit stop yet?
Uh,
They roll the front tire off from the right side. Watch how that's handled, and tell me that's not an uncontrolled tire.
Yeah, that looks like an uncontrolled tire to me.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just, that bothers me.
I mean, they didn't have control of the tire, technically.
Joey went down to 8th because they were in green flag pit stops.
That is just one advantage,
That's
though,
why
of being that false pit stall.
Yeah, but to be fair, more guys than the first pit stall do that.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of times you see pit stops where that tire goes halfway into the next pit stop.
Yeah.
Or pit stall, excuse me. But there's no car there, so they let it go.
So here, if a tire went off from a pit stop, would they call a caution just for a crew member going out on pit road? Because they did it at Kansas, but that was, they didn't have.
Dude ran all the way out into the infield.
Yeah. I don't think so.
I don't think they do because of the wall being there.
Yeah.
Because anybody that's coming down pit lane is at pit lane speed.
Yeah.
So I don't think they care about it. I mean, they don't want you running out in front of traffic. But if there's not a car coming to where you can get out and get it back, they don't worry about it. But when you're out in the middle of the infield where a car that loses control could come by and take you out at full speed, they don't want that happen.
Cannot wait for this race to be back where it's supposed to be next year after Darlington. And Bristol's back where it's supposed to be too in mid-August.
Yeah, unfortunately, the second Daytona race is not where it's supposed to be, and the All-Star race isn't where it's supposed to be.
They're not going to move that Daytona race. I'd be very surprised if they
Which I'm not understanding this. I'm still not.
As far as like
everybody's like Daytona doesn't want it there. Daytona doesn't care. It's tourist dollars. They'll take tourist dollars any way they can get them. That's just dumb.
Man, they are showing like 20 different replays of the Cindric incident. But come on, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Is it a penalty if a driver runs over another driver's air hose?
So, very quickly, I want to point something out.
Cold Custard is 2 laps down, just for your knowledge, Jamie.
Point says they won right now. Logano's in 8th. That's a dangerous spot for everybody else.
He's leading.
Now, he's going to hit he's got a 40-point gap between himself and Elliott.
Right.
To get into the top 7. But, 8th is, right on that cusp.
40 laps to go. We got Logano, Briscoe, Hamlin, Elliott. Dang it, they flipped the thing on me. Zilish is all the way back to 26th after the penalty. Logano, Briscoe, Hamlin, Elliott, Blaney, Bell, Cindric, Byron, Bowman, Barry. We got the 5 Bs going on again. Actually got 6 of them, I think. Glad to see we're back to that. Most of the year we haven't had that going on. Last year, every week, you had 5 B names in the top 10, all the time.
Call it a B movie.
I like what you're cooking there, brother.
There we go.
Cindric taking Bell around the outside.
Should
Logano
also,
3 wide going into turn one,
should also mention
trying to put Darrell a lap down.
with points as they won, Blaney is ahead of Gibbs now in points for second. That's about what, 10 points right there?
Yeah. Logano puts
35.
Wallace a lap down. We now have 17 cars on the lead lap. Next on the list, Herbst.
This race is about to be official here.
Yeah, we're 3 laps from official.
Yeah. Which means no Sunday.
Which, to be honest, it's official. But if they throw a caution right now, I promise you they're running 3 laps before they red flag anything. I don't care if it's a 1975 Indy 500 downpour. They are not throwing a caution until they finish 3 laps.
What was that? The O'Reilly Solid race where they just ran the last few laps under caution?
No, it wasn't the last few. It was like 14 laps. It was stupid.
That was funny.
I was mad. God, I was mad.
That was hilarious.
No, it was awful.
I love it when NASCAR makes their own dumb rule and then they have to just kind of figure out a way around it. It's a lot funnier than when they're just like, no, it's not a rule anymore, as I said, like the lightning clock.
Right. Well, or the lightning clock gets called off by some official in turn one. But yeah, we haven't had any in a while. We're going green.
Yep.
So Austin Dillon currently in 23rd, I believe, 24th. About to be 23rd because the Giz is on pit lane.
I was very disappointed yesterday that there was no like Kyle Busch memorial or tribute or anything.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. By the way, we should be going green flag pit stops again here as Van Gisbergen is in because we have 30 laps to go in the stage.
Like I had like a little thing of like M&Ms specifically because I've seen like where people have like left M&Ms and stuff like at these little like fan memorials or whatever.
Right.
But I didn't see any.
Sad.
Yeah.
That celebration of life at Charlotte is going to be something. I'll tell you that. That's going to be a big deal.
Yeah. What is that? The Friday after the truck race? I've been putting some thought
after into before. I thought it was before.
I thought it was after. I've been putting some thought into maybe going down though as a fan of just seeing that.
Right.
It's just a long drive for me though.
Was he really shifting at Richmond?
Who, Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are we shifting?
Some guys do the shifts. I remember Harvick used to do it here.
That is no. Larson coming off pit lane in 24th after the pit stop. Now let's turn on. You want to get on an in-car. This will be fun. Kyle Larson going through the field.
Yeah, I'm looking at the race weekend schedule on J-Ski for that weekend, and it doesn't say anything about the celebration of life. Truckway starts at like 5 o'clock that day, so that's probably why they did that.
Hendrick currently 5th, 9th, 10th, and 24th, but Larson has pitted, so that's why he's back in 24th.
Apparently, apparently they're getting rid of press boxes at a lot of these racetracks now. I'm just looking at in tonal Slack because people are marveling that Richmond has a press box.
Why?
I have no idea.
Hey, Darlington's got a press box. Martinsville's got a press box.
Yep.
Bristol's got a press box.
Bristol needs a press box. Considering the media center is like what, underground, I think?
Well, no, the media center is above ground. The photography section of the media center is underground.
Gotcha. It's very old school.
Logano is 4.5 seconds ahead of Briscoe.
Whenever they do this whole talking to drivers about a certain topic in the garage, it reminds me of like watching like an old 1980s race because they would do that all the time too.
Right. So if Logano turns this into a North Wilkesboro stinker, do we move the All-Star race to Richmond next year?
God. I don't know where you put that race, the All-Star race.
You put it at Charlotte. Charlotte is where it should be. Charlotte invented it. Charlotte did it right. Everything else that has gone on outside of Charlotte, except for North Wilkesboro the first time, has been garbage because it's all-star race at Charlotte. That's where it should be. They're the ones that perfected it. Stop it.
But the problem is, Neff, like SMI only has a very limited amount of dates.
Yeah. Why?
If you do it at Charlotte.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do they have a limited amount of dates?
Yeah.
They shouldn't. It should be about putting together the best schedule for the fans to see racing, not about who owns the damn tracks and dates. Nobody should own dates. The dates should be set by the schedule.
I do think realistically one place that might make sense at would be Vegas. Because part of it is too, Vegas in particular, I think, is really starting to fall off because of the F1 race that's there in the fall, where it's like, why go to both NASCAR races when you can go to a NASCAR race and maybe go to like the Friday night or Saturday night of the F1 race?
Well, again, Vegas should only have one date, as should every other track on the schedule, except for Charlotte with the All-Star race and Daytona with the Clash. The reason that we shouldn't go to Vegas for an All-Star race is because if you truly have it be an all-star race to where we have the open like we have had forever, those teams that are in the open having to haul a car across the country for a 1 in 12 shot or whatever of making the main event, they don't want to do that. That's a huge expense to a team that's not getting any kind of a real paycheck out of it. That's why it makes sense at Charlotte, because you're right down the road from 99% of the shops, and it lets the teams in the open be out there and have a shot without having to do a major expense other than having a car ready to race.
I'm just done with the All-Star concept more than anything.
I'm not. I love the All-Star race. I loved all the gimmicks other than that stupid caution flag they did at North Wilkesboro. That was dumb. But everything else on it, the no speed limit pit lane qualifying stuff, that was fantastic.
That is cool. Like the pit stop qualifying, that is cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If they insist on doing like 2-round single call qualifying at these oval tracks, I wouldn't mind making one of the rounds that.
I do miss 2-day qualifying.
Yeah.
2-day qualifying was a cool thing way back when.
Yeah,
but I understood why they didn't do it.
You'd have the go homos. Would they do the first one on like Friday afternoon?
I mean, if I remember, everybody did it. You all ran, and then if you wanted to go the second day, you basically threw away your time from the first day and you ran the second.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. I just knew.
I believe that was how it worked.
I just knew about the early 2000s where you had a separate like go home qualifying system.
No, this was back like 80s and 90s. Carl Lawson trying like heck to get into that free pass position. Dennis putting the challenge on Briscoe to try to get to second place, almost 8 seconds behind the leader.
You only got 12 calls on the lead lap.
Thankfully, we're going to be at 7. We got 7 to go in the stage.
Lawson's also going fast enough where he should unlap himself by then.
Yeah, it looks that way. Interestingly, so not everybody apparently is doing the last pit stop, obviously.
Yeah.
So we had a handful of drivers do that pit stop, Larson being one of them.
Yeah, like I don't think the 3 did it. I know the 42 didn't because he's like at 1 in 26 second lap times right now.
Hamlin and Briscoe really putting on a show for second spot. Yeah, to say the least there, Jamie. Joey's been pulling away for a while. He's going to be at 10 seconds ahead by the time we get to the end of this stage.
The legends have all won at Richmond, including Carl Lawson.
Amen. But isn't it Richard that's got 15 wins here, I think?
He's I think it was 13 or something.
I know it's like Martinsville,
it's 15,
Richmond, and Rockingham. He owned all those tracks.
Yeah.
Cindric trying to get ahead of Blaney here at the end of the stage.
Pit road's closed.
Logano wins the stage. Now we wait for second place to come across the line. There we go. Hamlin second. Briscoe third. Cindric fourth. Blaney fifth. Barry in sixth quietly. Elliott seventh. Bell in eighth. Reddick ninth. Byron in 10th.
Chastain misses out on a stage point in 11th. There's a very good chance that next week Hamlin will clinch the 1 seed.
Yep. Especially if he wins tonight.
If he wins tonight and Blaney, something happens to Blaney and he DNFs, he's probably going to clinch it. He would need something bad to happen to Blaney.
Reddick has managed to claw his way into the top 10.
I'll grab a drink real quick.
Heard that. Agree with that, Jamie. Completely agree that it needs to be an exclusive thing where only one car makes it out of the open and one gets in on the fan vote. I'm fine with the fan vote. But, yeah. Well, and here's the thing that I've always argued on that winner purse, Jamie. You want to make this really exciting? 5 million, 10 million, I'm down with either one of those. The key is it needs to be the driver's money. The drivers have to put up their own money. Everybody puts up an equal portion, and it's winner take all. That was always my problem with the All-Star race, which I didn't realize until I got into the media and started seeing the behind-the-scenes information. But at least a few years back, while I was still doing this, the winner got $1 million. Second place was getting $600,000. It wasn't like it was some big payday and everybody else went hungry. Everybody was getting paid. You want to make drivers do something stupid to try to win a race? Put their own money on the line, and if they don't win, they don't get a dime. That would make the All-Star race really fun. And I think you would see people driving like complete a-holes to try to win that. I believe, Jamie, the answer on that one, we were just talking about it a little bit earlier. If he wins, I think he will claw his way up to 8th place. I believe that's where he will be. Obviously, it depends a little bit on where other people finish. Hamlin's crew with another clean stop. I do believe Hamlin's beaten Briscoe off. Yes, Hamlin beat Briscoe. Barry is 4th, Blaney 5th, Cindric 6th, Elliott 7th, Bell 8th, Byron 9th, Reddick in 10th. And now Denny's eating hot chocolate out of a cup again. So next week we'll be at New Hampshire. 3 o'clock start. So we will see y'all in the middle of the afternoon, getting back to the good old days. Penske is absolutely putting on a show. 1st, 4th, 5th, 6th. Feel like it'll be even closer than that at the end. But we'll find out. Missed you.
So I should mention, yesterday I went to the truck race. I had gentlemen missing tickets. I was at the fan
I was gonna say you went to the truck postponement.
Yes. So, oh my God. How do I even start this? So, we're getting ready. They had started driver introductions. I would say from like 6:20 to about 7:10 when driver intro started, you could see lightning like way back, like miles away from the racetrack. Like, so they start driver introductions and they go, starting 34th, Connor Hall. And Connor Hall doesn't come out. Starting 30th, they don't announce anybody and nobody comes out. And then they showed like the 29th graphic. And then they were like, hey, we're in a holding pattern now for weather.
Nice.
So we take cover under the stands. Wait about an hour or so, hour and a half. They start drying the track at about 9 o'clock. There's not a whole lot to dry because it doesn't rain that much.
Right. Yeah, they were talking about potential start at 9:10.
Yeah. There were like occasional raindrops when the force delay happened. But it wasn't enough. Like a couple pace laps out there with the trucks and they would be good.
Yeah, they didn't really lose the track.
So it's me and my uncle doing this, by the way. And by the way, he hadn't been at Richmond in about 15 years. And he comes in and he's like, it's just a completely different racetrack now.
Right.
Because we built the entire infield and
took down the backstretch grandstands.
Yeah, they paved the gravel that's in front of the grandstands when you're walking the track.
Yeah.
So we meet Massey and his dad in the stands. National anthem happens. And, everybody's getting strapped in, And then 5 minutes turns into 10 minutes. Then 10 minutes turns to 20 minutes. And then 20 minutes turns to 25 minutes. And then they finally announce, we are having technical delays. We cannot provide the TV feed to the broadcasting company. And of course,
right. Power was out. Power was out in the broadcast area.
Yeah. I don't know what they said after that because like the entire fan base booed like hell. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go back in the infield in the little fan ground section and hopefully wait this out. And I go back there, and so as soon as I get in there under the awning, the clouds part, and there's just a deluge of like storm and everything. But then it stops after about 10 minutes. And not 5 minutes after that, they were like, oh, the race has been postponed, even though it wasn't raining at all. It's like,
yeah, but radar didn't look like it was going to get any better.
Yeah.
By the way, we're back to green, ladies and germs.
It's Briscoe and Logano.
Briscoe and Logano side by side. We were 11 laps for that post-stage caution, by the way.
And how about Cindric up into third? Blaney shuffled back to 8th. This is a big night for Joe Gibbs Racing. This is their home track. And they've traditionally dominated here, too, as Briscoe takes the lead.
Now, Jamie, I don't know about math, but I'm showing Joey currently has 638 starts, which means he'll be at 639 after tonight. So that would be 361 starts till he hits 1,000 Cup starts. Still 10 years.
I was reading a book a couple months ago about how it was made after 1999, and about how if Jeff Golden continued his run, like his winning weight, and the Cup schedule stayed at 34 races, he would win his 204th Cup win in the 22nd race of 2015. Really goes to show you how great.
Unfortunately for him, he stopped winning 13 races a year.
Yeah, unfortunately, he ended up hiring Jimmy Johnson. Man, these restarts are hairy here. I'm kind of surprised.
Very hairy. And Jamie, yeah, I thought the same thing when I was a fan of the All-Star race. But then I got into the media and I saw behind the scenes and learned that was not the case.
I remember
Briscoe is leading by 0.3 of a second.
They marketed one of those exhibition races like that once about how, second gets nothing.
See, that's the thing that I love about the in-season tournament. Because second place gets bupkis.
Yep.
You don't win, you get nothing. That's why I like that. But that's what the thing with the All-Star race, it was always, the winner gets $1 million. You never heard in the advertisements, second place gets 600 grand.
Yeah.
That was what was jacked up. I was ill about that for a long time.
Especially now that they hide the winnings.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't release that publicly anymore.
There's a distinct possibility about that, Jamie. Although he's 10th right now, he's only almost 5 seconds out. Can I just say that jockey paint scheme for Chastain looks awful.
Yeah,
it's baby shit brown. You do not need an underwear car being baby shit brown.
It's not. They tried to go for the gold look, and it really didn't work.
Nope. So starting up stage 3, we have 13 cars on the lead lap.
Oh, 97 spinning. So with the Fangrounds ticket, it's a Richmond thing where you can go into the infield and you're the area between the garage and pit road is basically open to the fans. I think it's like $80 a day.
Nice.
It's a great ticket if you're not like me and you want to get like autographs or meet people. I didn't care about that stuff, so like it really wasn't worth the money for me. But still, it was funny to see how, guys like Priest and Cindric, who, by the way, Cindric, tall boy. I always forget about that until I see him. It's funny how, like, those guys and Lawson and Blaney and Chase, they all stopped to sign and everything. And then you have Sane, who is able to. He's basically the only one with that Dale Sr. type respect and charisma who can go, hey guys, sorry, I gotta, I'm kind of in a rush right now. I can't stop. I gotta go do this.
Sadly, they do that these days. Some of them do.
Well, with Shane, like it was a little more understandable because he was doing double duty. So,
right.
Like, I'm sorry, Fridays are usually pretty busy for that.
Right. Brockster breaking down the SVG situation. Took the wave around to move up 10 places.
Gotcha.
Then did the pit stops, and now he's trying to do the 2-stop for the final stage.
Not too bad. I don't know who is on top of that pit box for saying, but like, I don't really think he's an issue. Well, it's also funny because like, there's now trading color people.
Yeah.
Who just have binders of the set.
Right.
Because you remember the bag people, right? Well, like they're just like, oh, there's Dale Jr. Let me reach into my bag and find a diecast for me.
Pull out 6 diecast cars and hero cards. Yeah. The whole shebang.
Yeah. Now we have cold people.
Steven Duran is on the pit box for Van Gisbergen.
Okay. That's good. It's good that I don't know his last name, you know. I mean, I don't know his name. Because usually, if you know that as a crew chief, usually not good.
SVG made the call. Crew chief wanted to do 3 stops. SVG said no. Let's see how this plays out.
I have gotten the impression that the crew chief, that guy is pretty like open to like saying, going, I want to do this, and being like, okay.
Not like Shane doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Yeah. I mean, ovals are obviously not a strong suit yet, but he's coming around. I don't think we're going to get an Austin Dillon victory tonight. I may be wrong.
Yeah,
he's 17th a lap down and not really looking like he's putting the pressure on.
You know, it's wild that Austin was that good. People forget, like 2 years ago, did he wreck Hamlin Logano in that race? Yes, but he was going to win it.
I disagree with that whole wrecking thing. I know that everybody roasted him over the coals and whatever. You watch the white lines on the track. Dillon stayed in his lane. Hamlin came up. I'm sorry if that point on the track is normally to come up, but he drove a straight line and then he wrecked himself.
Well, regardless though, Neff, you remember, like, if we don't have that restart and the race ends under caution instead of going to overtime, Dillon wins pretty easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and then he comes back and he wins last year, and it's like, it's weird that like Kyle Busch didn't do anything. I don't remember him doing much in those calls.
Right. I don't think you're going to get it, Brockster. I may be wrong, brother, but I don't think there's going to be a 3 victory tonight.
Damn, I forgot to set my lineup again. I'm really bad. I'm getting really bad about that.
I have learned that it doesn't matter if I set my lineup or not. If I forget to set my lineup, I usually do better than if I had set my lineup.
Meanwhile, Lee Diffie is giving the "We shall not surrender. We will battle in the hills and in the streets" about Cliff Daniels. That speech.
So I'm curious why or how Blaney has held on to fast lap the entire race. You would think with rubber getting down and the sun getting lower and the temperature dropping, that fast lap thing would be changing, especially with the differences in pit strategy.
I should mention that Briscoe on the first lap of this one he was only 5 thousandths off of it, looking at timing and scoring. So people are getting close to it.
Still curious though.
Yeah. I think what we're seeing right now is the Penske cars are just so damn good on long ones.
Yeah. Well, right now we are at 30 laps since going green on the stage.
Yeah.
We have 130, 129 laps to go. How far do we go? Are we going to do 40 laps? We're going to do 45 laps. It's just I'm interested because it was 30 laps at the beginning, and then it was kind of 30 laps consistently, and then at the end of stage 2 we suddenly went 50 or 60.
I just hope we don't see another Carlson, because that would really put the teams in.
That'd be really cool. That would open up the playbook a lot.
SVG is flying right now. He's already back up to 18th. I think he is the fastest car on track right now.
Right. But he's still got to get ahead of 4 cars to be in the lucky dog spot, and that's assuming Reddick doesn't go a lap down.
Yep. Now, Reddick, there was a 10-second buffer, though. He's only 15 back from Briscoe. But we have like a 30 more laps on this one here. Like, that can change.
How about the fact that Briscoe gets in front of Logano, and now it's 2.4 seconds?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he got ahead of him and Logano's right there trying to beat on the back door to get back around him. He's gone.
It really takes a pit stop cycle for this 22 to wake up. But when they do, they wake up.
That's just very interesting to me.
When I was there yesterday, I noticed that there were only 3 Cup drivers with their own dedicated merchandise hauler. Now, who do you think they are?
Oh, yeah. The Fanatics has completely ruined merchandising. Completely ruined it.
Who do you think the 3 are now?
Hocevar.
Supposed to. No.
Hocevar's not? I thought Hocevar had his own.
No. There's not a whole lot of Hocevar mulch, though. I was surprised. 2 are easy, 1 is tricky.
I don't know if any of them are easy. And we're talking active drivers, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I gotta say, Dale Jr. has merchandise hauler on his own. I've seen that at local short tracks, so I know he's got his own.
Yeah.
God, I can't even imagine because I know Penske's got their team thing. Hell, Chevy, the last race I went to, like all Chevy drivers just about were out of one. I think RCR had their own, but all the other Chevy drivers were in one hauler.
Oh, the leaders are pitting.
Yep, Logano's in. Bella's in, Byron, Busher, Ty Dillon, all in the pits.
Chase.
Logano was 9.0.
1 was Chase.
Chase has his own?
Yeah. 1 was Lawson.
That's very surprising to me.
It's the most popular driver now.
It's a Hendrick driver.
Hendrick had like Bowman and Byron on one side and then JOM on the other. So they had 3 merchandise haulers. They had the combined one, then they had 1 for Lawson and 1 for Chase. Now, who do you think the third was?
Like I said, I thought it would be Hocevar.
Chastain.
Ooh, Elliott super slow on the left rear. That's not good. I guess I could see that.
I do think a lot of Harvick fans went to Chastain because they just followed Busch Light.
10 years is a stretch, Jamie. Ain't gonna lie to you. He'll be 46 years old in 10 years.
Yeah, never say
That's
never.
old.
Like, I mean,
I'm not saying never. Freaking Harry Gant and Dick Trickle drove into their 50s.
well, I mean, Denny's 46.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, it's absolutely possible. And 1,000 starts is a huge number.
Yeah.
Huge.
And we saw too, like with Balk. Well, not Balk, Harvick. Well, like we thought he would drive to his 50s, and he fell off a cliff at like age 43. I think 43, 44, somewhere in there.
Larson's in.
I do think
Why do I feel like we got a problem here? How did Reddick suddenly get in the lead ahead of Briscoe?
We have a caution.
Carson Hocevar scrubbing along the wall, going down the back stretch.
Oh.
And he stops.
Caution.
He stops.
In the middle of green flag pit stops.
Again. See, and I like this. Once again, I like this part of stuff, which is why if we didn't have the damn stage cautions, we would see much more of this.
That is a big break for the 97 because they are the last car on the lead lap.
Now, the question here is, something obviously went wrong on Hocevar's car.
So Reddick.
Oh, but he stopped and he's not moving. So okay, maybe I understand that. I thought he was going to wait for the field to go by under caution and then pull off, but he just stopped. So something must be severely broken on that thing.
So Reddick finally got some good luck here because he had not pitted. Him and Sane are the only ones who are probably going to be pitting here on this caution.
So that's kind of a cool story there, Jamie, that your stepdad was a prop as well as Fargo guard. When they did the Legends Million, they had $1 million in the media center and 5 dudes around with automatic weapons. They were not joking around and talking with Bruton about it. The amount of hoops they had to jump through to get $1 million $1 bills delivered and secured was crazy. I mean, it was like a 4-month process that they had to go through to pull that off.
That's a little crazy. Was it Bruton or was it Humpy?
It was Bruton. It might have been Humpy's idea.
Yeah, but probably Humpy's idea.
Bruton had to make it happen. And Bruton was like, man, you don't just call the bank down the street and go, oh, I need $1 million in cash. Drop it off tomorrow. It was a deal.
Yeah, because banks don't carry that much money usually.
Yeah, that not especially $1 bills. If you're getting $1 million, it's going to be in hundreds. This was $1 million $1 bills.
It reminds me of the story that like Westy didn't like a penalty. NASCAR
oh yeah, with the pennies.
He paid it with
Hell
pennies.
yeah! Backed up a dump truck in front of NASCAR headquarters in Daytona and dumped it on the sidewalk. And this just in, they fined him for that. So not only did he have to pay that fine, but he also had to pay to have that cleaned back up off of the sidewalk. But it was hilarious, man. That was one of the funnier things ever in NASCAR history.
I have to say, this is one of the few merchandise things I got yesterday. And there's a sort they're selling that has him hugging Buxton.
Nice.
After winning a race.
Right.
And it's like, that's just heartbreaking to me. They're also selling Buxton stuff at the LCR merchandise hall now, which is nice.
See, the funny thing about Larson having his own hauler is that was one of the big sticking points for Larson 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Was that he could go to a sprint car race on one weekend and make more money on merchandise than he was getting from his check for the entire year of Cup merchandise. And again, it's because Fanatics has destroyed merchandising in NASCAR racing. I mean, it's awful.
I think Fanatics might be the worst company in America.
Besides the worst company at what they do. You know, I mean, there are some other really bad companies, but if your job is to sell merchandise and you make horrible merchandise, that's not a good look for your company. But there's no competition for them. Nobody else can come out with their own stuff.
I think it's just them and Ticketmaster who are competing for that.
Yeah, Ticketmaster. Woof. Oh. Truly bad. I'll tell you what, Jamie, if Joey pulls off a championship this year, it will be Tony Stewart-esque. He's going to have to win 5 of the 10 races if he's going to pull that off. I do not believe so, Jamie, and I don't have knowledge because I haven't been at a track in a while on the media side of stuff. But Brexton's racing.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that they're going through the machinations of him racing on a Saturday and then flying to get to the racetrack for a race on Sunday and flying back home.
I know Dylan was talking about how Buxton actually went to the simulator last week at the Chevrolet simulator and just watched Buxton do it and hung out with him and Hill. So they are trying to keep him included and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. All right, Jamie, which race are you talking about? You talking about the Richmond race when Dylan was leading and the caution flew at the end and went to overtime and ended up racing and winning the race but getting accused of wrecking people even though he didn't wreck the people? Just asking. But yeah, I love that RCR's, at least for now, keeping Brexton in the fold and push for it. But as multiple drivers have said, hopefully Brexton gets to chart his own path in this thing without feeling pressure to move up and that he has to fulfill some kind of obligation to RCR to get into their car. And I don't think he is. I feel like, at least what I've seen so far, is he's still racing where he should be racing at his skill level. And I love reading the posts that he puts out where he is analyzing and being, self-aware of what his driving talent is and what mistakes he's making and the things that he needs to work on. I think that's awesome. And green.
I think the salt, by the way, I was talking about with him hugging Buxton, I think the front of it says something like, "We weigh on" or something.
Right. 4 wide going down the backstretch after the restart. And Josh Berry almost got wrecked.
Oh.
Again. Ross Chastain trying to wreck Josh Berry. And now here comes Dennis up the inside. Holy cats. Look at the 24 of Byron go around the outside like a trailer park girl. Larson's back on the
Oh,
lead. Larson's back on the lead lap, by the way, thanks to being the free pass.
the one should have spun out, though. That's crazy.
Both of them, Barry and Chastain,
Yeah.
should have spun out.
If this was the older call that's not glued to the ground, they would have spun out, though.
Yeah. Yeah, Jamie, I disagree on that. I think Austin Dillon had that race won if it wasn't for the caution flag.
All this chaos has gotten SVG up to 11th, and he is now 52 points above Puis for the
This just in, Tyler Reddick's in third.
Yeah.
Bell is in fifth. But this is really flipped around a bunch here in the last stage.
Yeah, Reddick finally got some luck. He hasn't had
Reddick finally got some track position. He hasn't had track position in a while.
In months. It's a good one for Cindric tonight.
Yep.
Top 5 most of the night. Ooh, ooh.
None of that.
And again, I was exhausted after yesterday. I got home at about 1:30.
I'll say you live like outside of Charlotte, don't you?
No, I live outside of DC.
That's right. That's right.
If I had left the track and just not stopped anywhere, 2-hour drive. The problem was I ran into a storm midway through, and I had to slow down a lot.
Gotcha. Speaking of DC, I was searching on the World Wide Webs the other day because I still want to get my hands on one of those race T-shirts that they released for like a day and then they pulled them. They're on Walmart's app. You can order.
Funny.
I want to get one just to have that for the pure PR debacle that was. That somebody thought that was a good thing to put out. I can't grasp how somebody was in a boardroom and saw that on a screen and went, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." Thumbs up, exactly. Thumbs up. Unbelievable.
Stupid. Well, Malcolm has been a disaster so far for IndyCar. I'm sure the next 3 calls won't be a disaster. Supposedly, the DC course is ahead of schedule right now.
That's good.
Yeah. They're going to be shutting Wagon down for 3 hours on Sunday for air traffic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a crazy idea if you think about it.
Yeah, you're flying back into Wagon at on Sunday and you bought your tickets months ago. Guess what? That's it.
Well, but months ago, they already were planning that, I do believe. I think this has been planned on the Reagan Airport side for like a year. I think when they announced this thing, they had already had organized that shutdown. So it wasn't, I don't think tickets were available to be bought.
Okay.
So Reddick is not only in third, but he's got way better tires than the front two.
Yep.
According to that graphic they just splashed up.
Yeah, he stayed out and got lucky with that Coulson. Was able to pit. SVG is in the same neighborhood along with Wilson.
SVG on the lead lap, so you never know.
Yeah.
Hamlin's still in ninth.
Only 14 cars on the lead lap right now.
Well, and that's thanks to Larson getting back on the lead lap with the lucky dog. That's where he is now, Jamie. We'll see where he is in another 20 laps. I think he'll be back in the lead, but you never know. Like I said, he's third stage. He hasn't looked as strong as he did in the first and second stages.
Hey, the entire field is within 7/10 of each other right now. Like, there is no difference in these cars anymore.
Yeah, got to get that underpan off these things. Get the splitter off of them, get the underpan off of them, get the diffuser off of them, put 5 lug nuts back on and high-profile tires, and let's go back to racing the way it should
be. If you just had, like, manufacturer-specific suppliers instead of everything coming out of one factory.
Oh yeah, exactly. You're basically building full-size model cars is what you're building.
Yeah. Like, just if you can somehow find 3 suppliers instead of 1 supplier for a lot of these parts, like, that would be way more interesting than what we've got now. I mean, there'd be situations where, like, the Fords are good and the Chevys are bad, but, like...
You know. I miss the days where, hey, we've taken them to the wind tunnel, Ford is going to get an inch off of their spoiler. You know, hey, they went back to the wind tunnel, and now Chevy is getting an extra inch put on their spoiler. I mean, that was like a once every other month thing where they were changing the aerodynamics for the specific manufacturers. It was great.
I mean,
we don't have that anymore.
You remember preseason Thunder, which was basically an excuse for the manufacturers to complain for weeks.
Yeah, how bad their cars were. Yeah. It's like, hey, they're your cars. Y'all designed the damn things. So this is a great debate question that Jamie's throwing out here, because it all comes down to what is your definition of successful? I mean, let's look at it. You know, I mean, yeah, Joey's got 3 championships. That's successful by any stretch of the imagination. What about Benny Parsons? Benny Parsons had 1 good year.
Yeah.
But he's got a title. Mark Martin, Denny Hamlin had some really good years. A whole bunch of them. Neither one of them's got a title. I'll take Benny's career.
Yeah.
I that's, you know, unless you manage to somehow win 100 races without winning a title, then we can talk. But till you get up to there, I'd rather have a title.
I'll take Denny's net worth.
Oh, no, net worth is that. See, now we're talking about definition of successful.
Well, so the thing is, like, I would never disparage a champion, even like 2024, because it's like you play to win the championship. You don't
play by the rules as they're laid out.
Yes,
that's what Joey did. You don't make the. I mean, and to be fair, that was Jimmy's thing. Jimmy and Chad every year came out and won 2-3 races in the first couple months. Then they spent the whole summer dicking around trying stuff to get ready for the chase. And then 2 or 3 weeks before the chase, they decided what they were going to run. They maybe or maybe didn't win a race in those last 3 races before the cutoff. And then they beat the crap out of everybody in the chase. And that was it was every year they did the same thing. And every year in the summer, people were like, oh God, Jimmy's gonna not do it this year. This is gonna be it. I'm like, no, that's what they're doing, is testing everything out so that when the time comes, they kick the crap out of everybody. And they did.
I don't remember.
They played by the rules.
I don't remember Jimmy ever winning at Michigan, because it was always like June and August where he would just stop.
Yeah, he didn't care about that race because it didn't matter.
Ollie Bellman hoping for a four-wheel driver to retire. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Yep.
To answer your Billy Boy, Briscoe is your leader by 1.8 seconds over Joseph. As Statman Dale pointed out, Chris Bell is in third, Tyler Reddick in fourth, Austin Cindric rounding out your top five. Chase Elliott has clawed his way up to sixth. Blaney, struggling as the night has gone on, is down to seventh. Byron, Midland around in eighth. Dennis is back to ninth. And Bowman the Showman rounding out the top 10. Still got 5 Bs in the top 10. Larson is 11th. Larson's going to get a top 10 out of this deal. And as soon as I say that, watch him freaking put it firewall deep into the wall.
I could have technically gone back today for the truck race, but good thing I didn't. Because that did not look good.
That would have been a long drive.
Yeah. That would have been 4 hours round trip to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I can't comment, so don't spoil it for me because I didn't see the race. I was at an event all day. So I'm gonna watch that after this race ends. I'm gonna go down and sit in my recliner, probably fall asleep halfway through.
You don't, yeah. You might as well just skip it, to be honest. Neff. Okay, so Logano, Elliott, or Pitting. So it's Bailey, Chastain, Bowman, SVG, Gregson, Cindric. Goodyear deserves a little bit of credit for bringing a tire here that will wear out. Because
it's definitely wearing out. It is definitely wearing out. And again, this is what we should have every week.
Yeah. But there were years there where Goodyear would just bring Flintstones to the track every week.
And I blame NASCAR for part of that.
Yeah.
Because NASCAR should have gotten in front of this thing years ago before this whole tire thing turned into the freaking rocket science that it has. And come out and said, look, we want tires that wear out. We want tires that fall off. If, as a result of that, tires blow, that is not Goodyear's fault. And that bugs the hell out of me now, is Goodyear comes out with recommended tire pressures. And they tell the teams not to go below a certain tire pressure.
And then guess what they do?
And the teams go below the tire pressure. And they blow tires, and then Goodyear gets all bent out of shape. I'm like, all Goodyear's got to do is be like, hey, we told you what to do. If you did it the way we told you what to do, it would have done what it was supposed to do. You chose to go down your own path. That's on you. And that's been my beef since I can't even remember when we really got carried away with this tire stuff. I want to say it was late 90s, early 2000s. It was a good 5-6 years after the tire wars that they just decided that they were going to do this idiotic different compounds on left and right side at different races, even in the same year at the same track. Like the spring race at Michigan had different compounds than the fall race did. I'm like, what?
Like a 2 month.
They didn't. If they repaved the track, okay, I see that. If you didn't repave the track, there is zero reason to be changing the compound. And I've fought it, and I've suggested it forever that we should have a soft, a medium, and a hard, at the 4 different types of tracks: short tracks, intermediates, road course, super speedways. Every race, the teams get a soft, a medium, and a hard. They can have, I don't know, pick an arbitrary number, 6 sets of each, 8 sets of each, whatever it is. And the teams use them at their discretion. You get a caution with 8 to go, you come in and throw the softs on and get after it.
Yeah.
But there's no reason that you should have a different tire for Charlotte versus Vegas versus Texas versus Chicagoland. Take your pick. If it's a 1.5-mile track, the tires should be the same. Are the tracks different? Absolutely. Are the tires going to wear different? Absolutely. But it is up to the team to make the tires last for the strategy that they choose to race.
I do appreciate how F1 does it where they say, where Pirelli's like, okay, we have 5 total dry compound tires. And every week we'll pick 3 that we'll bring with us.
Yeah. There you go.
Easy peasy.
Why is it the greatest racing series in the world can do it, but the greatest stock car series in the world has 38 races in the year and uses somewhere around 70 different tire compounds? It's just ludicrous. And the other thing I have never understood, and I'm sure there's a lot of economics behind it, why is the Sunoco gas free, but the teams have to pay for every tire?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Why are tires not free? That should be part of the whole Goodyear contract to be the supplier.
Well, that's how Goodyear makes their money.
Yeah. Guess what? Change the rule. Change the marketing contract, and if you're the official tire supplier, that's what you are, the supplier. You're not the official retailer. You're the supplier. Supply the tires. Teams don't have to pay for.
I remember Denny going into that the first year of his podcast where he was pointing out how, like, yeah, Goodyear sponsorship basically pays for itself because the teams
pays for itself. They make money. Forget about paying for itself. They make money. Yeah. It's insane. It is insane.
Maybe not as much because they do a lot more testing of the tires, but like 2 or 3 years ago when they would do maybe 1 tire test a year, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And the fact that these teams have to pay for tires whether they use them or not.
Yeah.
And Danny made that comment too, which I thought was just dumb. That if you buy tires for Charlotte in the spring, by the time you run Charlotte in the fall, those tires you bought in the spring are too aged and they won't work. Yep. But that's idiotic. It just simply, that makes no sense to me.
Yep. And Goodyear will unload the supplies, in these. Yeah. So it's something to watch the last 2 months of the year.
Yeah.
It's the tires become a lot more inconsistent because it's like some tires are brand new, some are just supply that Goodyear's trying to get rid of.
So Christopher Bell is leading Tyler Reddick.
Oh yeah, that's a race going
Briscoe is in third.
The top 4 have not pitted, I don't believe.
Right.
Or maybe the top 3. I don't know.
I think it's the top 4.
Yeah. If the race ended now, Hamlin would have a 103-point lead on Blaney. Top 5 next week would clinch him the regular season championship by my mental math.
Who is this coming down pit lane? That would be Tyler Reddick. Reddick pits with Jones. Chris Bell is pulling into pit lane.
Anna Pigeon. That's a name for a series I won't watch.
First time I heard that commercial, I didn't think they were saying pigeon.
Yeah.
Thought they were using a dirty word.
Uh-oh. I did get a cool, like, limited edition NASCAR hat. I don't have it in the other. I have it in the other room right now, and it's a limited edition number 1483 of 2026. And I bought it because, like, that's like Landon's number 83, and it's my favorite number.
Right.
I was a big Landon fan back in the day, and I realized this morning that the same place was probably selling hat number 1488, which maybe don't buy that one because that's a bad number.
Right.
Yeah. Blaney
So it
has
looks
not
like
hit.
Blaney's team is making a call here.
Yeah. Looks
that
like they're
he's
cutting
trying
the
to run
stage in
long.
half. Yeah.
He's trying to run long. Looks like he's coming down pit lane now.
Where is Ty Gibbs?
He's way
15th
back.
right now.
That speeding penalty hosed him. He's in
Killed him.
15th.
Yeah.
And he really has just been floundering there since the penalty. He
Yeah.
came out 20th, 22nd, something like that on the penalty, and just has not gone forward since then. Oh, bad jack effort. Bad jack effort.
Blaney. This pit crew, man.
Every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
They finally
Dude, did you see Blaney coming out of there where Van Gisbergen was running? He was absolutely banging the boards through turn one.
Yeah. This pit crew has been getting bailed out all night by having that false pit stall. Like,
yep.
And then it finally bites them in the ass on the money stop.
Well, still not necessarily, because he's done pitting for the night.
Yeah.
And everybody else is still going to pit. Now, the interesting call would be if somebody else jumps down pit lane right now that's in the top 10. So Blaney's 2 spots back from Lucky Dog right now. He's now 1 spot back. 6 laps fresher tires than Reddick, who's just ahead of him. Bell, fresher lap tires and still on the lead lap. So that's where the race is going to be those 3, I believe. You're going to have Bell, Reddick, and Blaney that are going to be on fresher tires. Well, fresh tires. Fresher, we'll see where it's at when the time comes that the other guys pit.
Let's see what Bell can do here. He's got a lot fresher tires than anybody else.
Yeah, Blaney is now in the Lucky Dog spot.
Bell is winning about us. Bell, I think, just took. No?
Bell has got 5 laps older tires than Blaney does.
Yeah. I think Bell might be trying to make it to the end on these.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he is. I think Bell, Reddick, and Blaney are all going to the end from here.
Bell just drove wide by Chastain, about a second a lap faster.
This is one of these times I wish they would show a graphic of how far Blaney is behind Briscoe. Because he's a lap down, so they just tell you, hey, he's a lap down.
Yeah.
He could be half a straightaway down or he could be 50 feet down. You don't know because they don't show you the time difference between the leader and the car that's a lap down.
They really need to change this tire graphic up because it's confusing me. At least don't use
Larson. So Larson has no tires left.
Uh-oh.
And he's got like 30 laps on his tires, I think.
He's going to, oh my goodness, he's going to have like a 90 lap one here?
I think so.
So
now here we go. We have this lovely graphic showing us how many feet there are between Briscoe and Logano, but they can't tell us how many seconds there are between Briscoe and Blake.
Hey, you guys should keep that in mind if we have a late caution here because Hamlin and Biowan are going to have to stay out if they pit, which they likely will, right?
And now here comes McDowell again. How come McDowell is always on a different strategy where he comes screaming up there with fresh tires on?
I will say I'm not a huge fan of the USA broadcast. I can guarantee you Fox would have never shown tire sets like that. Not a chance.
McDowell makes it 3 wide into 1. Briscoe cannot be happy about that.
Man,
Josh Berry in the pits.
Colleague is 6 laps down, both AJ and Ty Dillon. Haven't had any speed tonight.
Oh, no. Briscoe locking them up. Holy cats. If this was back in the day, that would have been a Matt Kenseth caution right there.
Yeah, that would have been a caution.
I'll never forget that, man. Kenseth locked up the tires in turn 3 and they threw the caution, and it was like, for what? It was just tire smoke. Buescher, Byron, Gibbs, Logano, Briscoe, Cindric, Zilish, all on pit lane. Logano is going to beat Briscoe out by a couple feet. And away we go. Now, where is Blaney in relation to Logano?
So,
can we please show Blaney? Oh, now my freaking feed is buffering. Son of a biscuit.
So Bell and Lawson are now leading, and we're not expecting either of them to pit.
Hamlin is on pit lane right now in the Bob's car.
Lawson actually can't because he doesn't have any tires left.
Yeah, Larson's got no tires, so he's in.
Yeah.
Larson is in for the duration.
I guess
Blaney ended up 5 seconds basically behind Logano.
I would have to see how, I guess technically, if we have a late caution, Lawson's pitting.
Pitting for what? They said he didn't have any tires.
He might have scrubs. That might be what's going on here. He might just be pitting for scrubs. I think qualifying tires would be available for him.
That's possible.
Yeah, do they change tires between qualifying and the race, or do they start on the qualifying tires?
I thought they started on qualifying set. But again, everybody pitted 30 laps into the first stage. So
Yeah.
that's better than 60 lap tires, I would think.
90 lap old tires are worse than
Although
60
of
lap
course
old
they're going to
tires.
tell you that it was tires on a green track because we had rain, blah 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 blah. But we had a whole damn truck race, so don't tell me that story.
So right now we have 10 cars on the lead lap. Denny was one of the last ones to pit, so he is going to be flying through here.
Should be.
He just unlapped himself from Bell.
So Logano is in third. Zilich is in 29th. I agree with Jamie. It's another crap show of a night for Connor Zilich.
Yeah. At the very least, the season's over for him, essentially. So it's like, if it's another bad week, I mean, what can you really do or say at this point? Do I have, like, sunburn or something here? No, it's not good.
You got something going on. There's a red dot, it looks like, on your forehead. Are you out there without a hat on? Because that's one thing you'll learn in a hurry. Your bald head will burn in a heartbeat.
I'll just put that back on for now. We'll play an entertaining game of is it sunburn or cancer later?
Yeah.
Hey, Zealous is in the WeatherTech call this week. I thought they only sponsored SVG.
Oh, no. They share it.
They do have a combined. So Trackhouse has two haulers, and it's Shane and Connor to one, which makes sense.
And yeah, then, Red Bull guys.
Yeah, and Chastain is the other. Well, they sell a lot of sponsors. It's almost like there's two Trackhouse teams. There's Chastain, and then there's Connor and SVG.
It's like Red Bull and Toro Rosso.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that they were the same team, except for like the name and like them talking about each other, I guess.
All right, so they're saying Larson's tires are 7 laps old, even though he had no sets. So I don't know how we understand that graphic.
It's probably scrubs.
Logano's got it down to 1.2 seconds. Briscoe is 7 tenths behind Logano.
Yeah, Logano's going to pass him and take this lead, more than likely. He's already way up on him on timing and scoring.
Yeah, it's down to half a second. This is only going to be a matter of a lap.
Yeah.
Or a corner at this point, because he's blowing by him right now like he is tied to a post.
I do appreciate that it's not the old Richmond I grew up with, but it's still a little interesting to see.
It's comers and goers. That's what we want, or like that's what I want. Yeah. I want tire fall off to matter. I want pit strategy to be a thing, and that's what we've got right now. Depending on when you change your tires and how your pit crew performs is determining this race.
I just love I got tomorrow off.
And my real question right now, where did Blaney go? He's back to 12th. What happened?
I don't think he's taken off like Bell did. Because they're on the same
I'm right? Confused. Because he was only 4 spots or 3 spots behind Logano. It was Logano, Briscoe, somebody, and Blaney. And now Blaney is dropped back to 12th.
And he's going to be falling.
He's losing ground.
He's going to be falling like a rock here, too, because he ran a 25-1. Chastain and SVG behind him are running 25-1s. 24 ones. So they're a full second fast. They'll get by them pretty easily once they catch up to them.
I don't understand what happened there. Whatever crazy strategy they tried to pull off did not work.
No. Well, with Blaney, they tried to cut the stage in half after the Coulson. Not the right move. It was a 3-stop waste to end, it was a 2-stop waste to end, not a 1-stop waste to end.
Dennis needs to make the move on Barry here pretty quickly. Cindric is in 5th, trying to chase down Reddick, who is 9/10 ahead of him. Cindric is 2 seconds plus 2.5 seconds up on Elliott, who's in 6th. 20 laps to go. Joseph Logano is your leader. Chaussee Briscoe in 2nd. Chris Bell is in 3rd. Ty Reddick is in 4th. Austin Cindric rounding out your top 5. Chaussee Elliott's in 6th. Willie Byron is in 7th. Josh Berry is 8th. Dennis Hamlin 9th. Kyle Larson rounding out your top 10. Briscoe is not letting Logano run away. It's half a second, and it's right in that area. Briscoe has been slowly eating into it. Yeah, Blaney's running a 25-2. The leaders are running 24-4.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Blaney has a loose tire or something.
It's just fresher tires, I think.
But Blaney has the fresher tires.
He is kind of in the same neighborhood lap time wise as Bell. And Bell only has 5 lap older tires than him.
I don't know. It's crazy. He's going a lap down right now, though.
Yeah. Briscoe is keeping Mr. Logano honest, at least.
Yeah, he's right there. Like I said, it's bouncing back and forth a little less or a little more than half a second. And they are 6+ seconds ahead of Bell in 3rd. So this race is coming down to Briscoe and Logano. We got 15 laps to go.
Maybe
God, I just don't want a freaking caution.
Hey, maybe it took 8 years and a new driver.
Look at Andrew jumping in here with his silliness. You want Larson to have a chance. Come on, brother. My buddy Andrew. Andrew runs my fantasy league on Facebook, does an amazing job. The amount of work he puts into it is stupid. And I screwed him this week in our owner's deal because he wanted to have Van Gisbergen, and I told him he could have it, and then I forgot to change my roster.
Oops.
So I stole him from him, and then Van Gisbergen ends up winning the pole in the truck race. I felt terrible.
Oops.
But you'll have that. But he's a Larson pump, so he's wanting to see Larson get up there and get a shot.
You know, maybe it took 8 years and a driver change in the 19 for the war to finally come to a head here tonight between Logano and Briscoe / Truex.
Somebody's arm needs to itch.
Uh-oh. He ain't winning the damn war.
Nope. Larson's just wanting to see the drought, or Andrew's just wanting to see the Larson drought go away. Because I am stunned that we're in a similar conversation for Kyle Larson that we had for Dale Earnhardt Jr. for all those races that we went till he finally won at Michigan. As Logano goes by the line, we are 10 to go. 10 laps to go. Briscoe is not gaining but not losing. He's right there.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's trying to save something to put a run on at the end. But at this point, it's time to go. If you're saving, you're done saving. Let's go.
These guys have the exact same tile.
Basically, I think it was 1 lap different.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're basically on the same tires. And as we get ready to wind this thing down, thank you once again to the all 135 people that are watching this thing with us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. Remember, if you have it in your capabilities and feel moved to help support Frontstretch to stay independent and not go to a subscription model, frontstretch.com/donate. Whether it's $1, $100, $100,000, whatever you can share. If you share $100,000, it's going to be Frontstretch bought to you by whatever the hell your name is.
Yeah.
But don't look now, but Briscoe is putting the pressure on. He has turned up the wick. He is right there.
You think back to all these classic Richmond moments over the years with these close finishes.
Yep. Amen, Andrew. Amen. I'm a Dale Jr. fan, not ashamed to admit it. And that drought was forever.
Minnie Tywell was mentioning this week that he was watching that 2015 Richmond race where Cole and Kyle went at it, I believe, right? And it was a side-by-side finish.
Yep. You can't talk about Richmond without Kyle Busch. There were so many moments. Here we go. 5 laps to go as we go by the line right now. Logano and Briscoe are 8.5 seconds ahead of Cindric in third place. This is the race. Joey Logano, 0.3 of a second ahead of Briscoe. I want to see Briscoe throw it up on a wall and run that line that Van Gisbergen has been running all night.
That'd be fun. He's got the Gucci for it.
We're going to see if he can pull it off.
He's
got 3 laps to go here, Andrew.
He's at least looking up the middle line right now.
Yeah, he is definitely moving up in the corner, which is funny because that's Joey's line at Bristol. Joey's the one that does that big dive into the corner and dives off the corner down the hill to get that speed. I don't think Briscoe's going to make it. I think this is Joey's race. We're going to come by right now and have 2 to go. The only thing right here is if these 2 boobs in front of them get to racing with 2 laps to go, this could really make things difficult.
Joey just had
especially for Briscoe. Joey was able to dive it in there and get by Jones. Briscoe's going to come out with Jones on the outside. It's going to screw up his exit. That really hurt Briscoe right there.
Yeah.
That probably finished it, which is kind of like last week. I was so upset that Keselowski was right in front of the leaders and didn't just get out of the way on the last lap. I really think that took away a shot at a last lap pass. But here we come. Checkered flag is in the air. Joseph Logano wins at Richmond.
Even Chase Briscoe is saying,
holy God, you see how sideways Chastain was coming across the line?
Even you, Logano.
I'm telling you, man, it's the mojo has been found.
Yeah.
And they are absolutely putting it on.
Joey Logano is now 9th in points. He's 1 point away from 8th, which is Kyle Lawson.
Come here. Save you for now. We got to set that to checkered flag. We're going to change this style over to all white. Checkered flag is in the air. Now your friendly neighborhood host has got to type out the ending positions. Oh, don't do that. Screw the whole thing up.
Denny Hamlin has clinched at least a top 4 seeding in the chase. The gap between 16th SVG and 17th Wine Priest is now exactly 50 points.
Nice.
Just trying to kill time while you're typing.
Denny finished better this week than last week by 1 spot. He was 5th last week, 4th this week.
Logano is only 36 points away from 6th.
Shout out to Kyle Larson with 140 lap old tires coming in 6th.
Yeah.
I still would like to know what exactly his tire situation was. When they tell you he's got no sets and he takes tires and runs like he's got on brand new tires. Something was not kosher about that graphic.
Welcome to the playoffs. Chase
Elliott
Byron and Christopher Bell.
Byron, 9th place 2 weeks in a row. How about that? That's saying something. I don't know what it is, but it's saying something. There you have it. Your top 10 from Richmond. Now I got to put my thing back on play so I can see the post-race interview. Wow, looks like Joey did a fresh shave before the race, man. He's got that dome looking pretty shiny.
Hey, my buddy right there, man. We stick together.
Yeah, man. I feel you.
Between Joey looking like he might actually contend for this championship and Shane being unstoppable on road courses, it's the year of the bald.
Look at Andrew with the call. 73 points for Logano. 3 points away from a perfect race. Because Blaney held on to the fastest lap from lap either 1 or 2 for the entire race.
That's funny.
I hate that rule. I wish we would go back to most laps led.
Damn, I think it is Sunborn right here. That sucks.
Rockster is sad because Joseph is in an even year.
This also goes to show you, too, like, Joey Logano did not get lucky and win 3 championships.
Again, you run by the rules. Was it lucky that he won that last race? No, he won the last race fair and square. Is it luck that he had a shot considering his performance throughout most of the year? Maybe, but you play by the rules.
Well, and
that's how it goes.
I would still say Hamlin's the favorite. I mean,
absolutely. No question about it, because even Hamlin hasn't had the lull. You know, everybody else that's been near the top during the year has gone down and run like a bag of hammers for, most of the races in a 2-month span. Denny may have an off race once or twice. Right, but if you listen to what he went through at Iowa with his brake issue, the amount of work he had to put in just to get the car slowed down most of the race, because it didn't slow down all of the race, was phenomenal. And he managed to come home 5th with a car driving like that. It was incredible.
That's why he's got a 115-point lead right now.
Yeah. I'm with you, though, Andrew. Bring back lap points. You should get a point for leading a lap. You should get 5 points for leading the most laps. I'm not on board with 1 point for leading the most laps. I think you should get 5 points for leading the most laps to encourage people to get out there and run at the front.
I'm just happy we've got NASCAR back. We don't have this BS playoff system anymore. Like, it feels like we're finally
okay. Notice my name. It is Grumpy Old Man.
Yeah.
And I am always going to say we need to have all season points. And I realize that the races for the championship would get settled 2 and 3 races ahead of the end of the season. So be it. If you're that good all year, you deserve it.
But realistically, though, Neff, with how this format is, this is the closest you can get to having a playoff system.
For the whole year. No, I get
Yeah.
it. I get
This
it.
is this is the closest you can get in all honesty.
Well, now on this one, Andrew, I like the plus 15 points for leading last lap. I love that when you win a race, you get a significant amount of points.
Yeah.
I'd honestly like to see it be 25 rather than 15. But
Because you were around in the '90s, Neff. You remember how like people did not like the lap vote system because of the whole you could win the race and receive as many points as second.
yeah.
Yeah. That's part of why we got into that mess to begin with, was people complaining that winning didn't mean enough.
Yeah,
So now,
I agree.
Yeah. Now we have a nice little thing of winning means a lot, but it's not everything.
Right. Which is good. I agree with that. And the thing I really feel bad about in the whole scheme of the whole thing is Atlanta. Atlanta got screwed forever being the last race of the year because the championship was already decided before they went to Atlanta at the end of the year. And so NASCAR's finally like, okay, Atlanta, we'll move you up a couple races. Sign the agreement. The agreement gets signed. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to have this thing called a chase where it's now going to be at the end of the year. Atlanta got totally screwed, and they have never brought the last race back to.
Well, don't forget too, Neff, that they also were like, hey, we're going to have the last race at one of our tracks now.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what. Which, again, who owns the track should not matter.
Big.
And Andrew, I will disagree on that. I am a huge fan of stage racing because all these teams got smart enough to run the way David Pearson ran his whole career, where he didn't give a damn about the first 300, 400 laps, 400 miles of the race. It was the last 100 miles that matter. At the end of the race, he would turn it on. The rest of the race, he just rode around. And that's what everybody started doing. So I love that there's competition to get points in the middle of the race. What needs to happen is the stage cautions need to go away. Stage cautions ruin the strategy of the whole race. That's where we need to get rid of that. Award your points for stages, but stage cautions need to go away because they screw up the strategy. There would be so much more strategy in racing if we didn't have those cautions.
My personal preference is always no stages, and in exchange you get soda races. Like, I would have rather had a 300 lap race tonight if it meant no stages.
Yeah, see, I disagree. I would rather have a 500-mile race because all races should be 500 miles.
Which, I mean,
I'm never gonna win that.
If me and Neff agreed on everything, this would be a terrible show.
That'd be an awful show.
Yeah.
Look at Chase, though, man. Came in second, buddy boy. So proud of you because he's run awful at Richmond forever. See Bell up here. Where did Bell end up? 7th. We'll take that. Think how good he would have run if he'd have run the truck race and had those extra laps in.
How about Austin Cindric, by the way? Finished third tonight. He needed a good race to maintain his chase position. He even gained a spot in the chase. He went from 16th to 15th.
I mean, that's basically what I'm saying, Andrew. Award the points at certain laps so that it's whatever the stage is. And like for tonight, lap 90, 225, and 400. They did 70, 230, and 400. So yeah, that all works. All right, so we're saying 7 drivers are locked into the chase at this point in time. All the way back to Bell. Blaney got ahead of Gibbs by 12 points.
Yep.
Elliott jumped ahead of Bell, but they're tied. So I don't know how he's ahead of him other than I guess you have tiebreaker of most races won.
Yeah, Chase won a race, I think.
He's won 2 races.
Yep, Bell
hasn't won anything. He's come in second 7 times.
The course continues with Bell.
Yeah, I've been preaching that for a little bit here, Andrew. Josh, knowing he's not back in that car in the last 3 races, has really put on some strong efforts. And
Well,
I think it's proven that Barry is a good driver, and hopefully he's going to get a shot somewhere else. But I honestly think Barry's going to be back in a JRM O'Reilly car.
Where's the space for that, though? You figure, like, Watch Out's going to be back in one of those cars. Allgaier's back.
The rumor is Sammy Smith's not going to be in a car.
Okay, so that's going to be where they find out.
But the question is, who ends up in that car?
Yeah.
Because there's a couple different possibilities there.
I mean, Coulson's going to have to find a seat, though. So let's see here. We got Coulson, we got Raja, we got Barry, we got Allgaier.
I don't know that Raja ends up in a JRM car next year.
Oh, you think they expand?
Maybe, but I don't know.
At Hendrick, do they expand? Because Dave's going to be back in Hendrick.
Right. Yeah, Larson's going to be in a chase there, Andrew. I don't think we have to worry about it. Although, interestingly, and Dale Jr. pointed that out this week on one of the things. Why do we have 16 guys in chase?
Yeah.
If you had 10, the talk about the bubble would be way more interesting. Way more interesting.
If you had 10.
Because you would be looking at Kyle Larson potentially missing the playoffs.
Logano would have won his way into 9th tonight.
Right.
There would be a 8-point gap between Busso and Hoseville for the last spot. Byron would not be in the chase. Lawson would be just on the razor's edge.
At the cut line. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Andrew, I agree that
would be out.
That number 2 RCR O'Reilly car is going to be open, and that is a hot rumor that Barry may end up there too.
I think they're going to put Carson Brown in that. I'd be surprised.
I think Carson Brown ends up in there or in a JRM car.
I know if I was Swart, because OCO is overseeing Carson Brown's development. If I were OCO, I would try to get him into a truck ride because I don't know what he's going to learn in O'Reilly that he's going to be able to take up the cup.
Right.
Yeah. And to be clear, I've seen Colson Brown race. He's pretty damn good.
Oh, he's a wheel dude. Absolute wheel dude.
Very potent. I think he just turned 18. So, he's got that cup potential.
Yep. Shout out to Richmond. They always do great fireworks.
Yeah. And also, too, the staff, though, are great. I love the staff, though.
Oh, yeah.
Very good people, though. So.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that, it's time to wrap it up, my friend. Mr. Finley, thank you so much for joining. I'm glad I didn't have to spend the whole night talking all by myself. It's nice to have somebody to talk to. Glad your Wendy's made it in reasonable time for you to have some dinner.
I had to get that pretzel pub BOGO.
I feel you.
It came back.
But thanks to each and every one of you, all 136 people that joined in to watch all the way to the end. Take care, Mr. Andrew. Thanks so much for joining in and spending a little bit of time. And the other guy. That would be for you, Mike. The Mike and Mike show. I like how it just has turned into Mike and Mike all the time.
Yeah, and the other Mike
is an ESPN show.
The other Mike's actually walking now. So
thanks to everybody that watched along. And again, if you have the means and feel the movement to help support Frontstretch staying independent, frontstretch.com/donate. Every little bit helps. So if you can help us out, that'd be great. We will see you next weekend somewhere around 3:00. That's when they say we're going to start. So it'll probably be a green flag at 3:10, 3:12, something like that. So we will start the show right at 3:00, I would believe. I'm going to be scrambling back from Roanoke, Virginia on Sunday morning. So barring unforeseen circumstances, I should be home with an hour or two to spare before we start, which is what I did today. I was at a vendor event today till 5:30, and I got home in time to do this thing. So for Michael Finley, for myself, Mike Neff, For everybody at Frontstretch, thank you so much for joining. We look forward to seeing you next week for the New Hampshire 300 and whatever it's going to be. Until then, be safe. Thank you.
Clam chowder.